Chapter 563. Although there was an ancient saying that victory and defeat were common in war, Liu Bei had never been defeated since his debut, and he didn't know the taste of defeat at all. This defeat could be said to be his first failure, and of course, it would also be his last. This was the most important failure after the turning point in his life. In their line of work, once they failed, it meant that they would never be able to stand up again. However, Liu Bei was not the kind of person who was willing to lose everything. Since the situation was hopeless, he also knew that it was absolutely impossible for him to escape from the hands of 9 masters. Even if he died, he would drag one of them down with him. Yuan Bo's attack just gave Liu Bei a chance. Before he died, he had to make the first move. Liu Bei's eyes flashed with a vicious light. He regretted not killing Yuan Bo earlier, so that he had the chance to take revenge today. Su Yun keenly felt the viciousness suddenly emanating from Liu Bei's body. He couldn't help but exclaim to Yuan Bo and remind him, "Be careful." However, this reminder seemed to have come too late. At this time, Yuan Bo had already attacked Liu Bei from the front. Liu Bei had no intention of defending at all. Instead, the moment Yuan Bo hit his head, he threw out a final punch with all his strength, hitting Yuan Bo's chest directly. Although Yuan Bo's palm also hit Liu Bei's head, his chest was also severely injured. He flew out far away and fell heavily to the ground. When Liu Bei fell to the ground, he had a smile on his face. The slightly raised corners of his mouth made people shiver involuntarily. This smile was too sinister. No one would want to be targeted by such a person. He wouldn't even accept death so easily. At the last moment, he would still find someone to perish with him. The moment Yuan Bo fell to the ground, Su Yun and the others had already stepped forward. He helped Yuan Bo up from the ground, felt his pulse, and pinched his philtrum twice. Liu Bei's palm just now was definitely aimed at killing him. Otherwise, Yuan Bo wouldn't have been hurt so badly. Su Yun. Yuan Bo opened his eyes. "Don't worry, I won't die. I haven't completed. Cough. Cough. I didn't complete my final redemption. Help. Cough cough cough. Help me up. I have something to say to my people. I want to tell them that they are free. I, Yuan Bo, didn't abandon them. Everything, all the nightmares are over." The members of the Paka clan were all kneeling on the ground after witnessing the massacre. If it was a year ago, they might have had the will to resist, but now, after such a long period of rule, their hearts were already deeply ingrained. It wasn't that they didn't want to resist, but the result of resisting was always the terrifying threat of death, so they didn't have the will to resist. Yuan Bo had been in Yanjing for a long time. His long hair had been cut short, and his original race clothes had become modern clothes. Therefore, after he came here, his people had never recognized him. Su Yun nodded. He respected Yuan Bo's wishes. He helped Yuan Bo up and walked in front of the kneeling clansmen. "Akbidora. Majdala Shaka," Yuenbua said in the language of their race, Ulakata Si Yuenbua. He was calling their clan leader and revealing his identity. He shouted again, "I'm back. Is the clan leader still here?" "I'm Yuan Bo." Yuan Bo's words made all the members of the Paka clan kneeling on the ground raise their heads. In the eyes of all the Paka clan members, the name Kata Si Yuenbua was the representative of evil, the source of evil. It was this person who betrayed them, causing their home to suffer such misfortune, and causing their clansmen to suffer such humiliation and suffering. Because among Su Yun's group, except for Su Yun who had contact with the Paka clan and knew some of their language, the others didn't understand at all. They relied on Su Yun to translate for everyone in a low voice. At this time in the crowd, an old man who looked over 60 years old stood up and said in stiff Mandarin in a trembling voice, "You are really Kata Si Yuenbua." Yuan Bo was stunned. Although the clan leader looked a lot older, he could still recognize him at a glance. But he couldn't believe that the clan leader could speak Mandarin. "Clan leader. It's me. You, when did you learn Mandarin?" The Paka clan members looked at Yuan Bo in realization. Su Yun saw no gratitude in these people's eyes, only hatred. They had completely misunderstood Yuan Bo's good intentions. If we don't speak Mandarin, we'll never be able to speak. If anyone dares to speak in our language, they'll be killed. The patriarch walked forward slowly as he called out to all the clansmen to stand up. When a person's life is in danger, he does everything very quickly, so we learn this language very quickly. Moreover, everyone has become used to it. When you don't speak Mandarin, it's equivalent to death. You'll also realize that your own language can be forgotten so quickly. How big of a threat was this to make a group of tribesmen learn to speak such a difficult language in such a short time? Su Yun couldn't help but marvel at the suffering these people suffered here. Clan leader, it's all my fault. Yuan Bo fell to his knees in front of the Paka clan leader. If it wasn't for me, these people, wouldn't have come here to hurt you. I am guilty. I am ashamed to face the ancestors and gods of the Paka clan. I beg the clan leader to punish me. In the face of Yuan Bo's request, no one could understand. It was Yuan Bo who had brought people to save his clansmen, but now he was begging his clansmen to forgive him. What kind of logic was this? In any case, Zhuo Meiyan and the others couldn't understand Yuan Bo's actions. According to Wu Yuandong's understanding, everyone would exclaim that Yuan Bo was a national hero, and then they would serve him with good wine and meat. From today onwards, the previous patriarch would be fired, and Yuan Bo would hold his coronation ceremony the next day. From today onwards, he would be the local tyrant of the Paka clan. However, the truth was the complete opposite. Yuan Bo had become a guilty person, and none of the rescued clansmen would stand up for Yuan Bo. They actually looked at Yuan Bo as if he was their enemy, as if Yuan Bo was their enemy, and Yuan Bo deserved to be punished. Vaguely, some of the tribesmen began to discuss. The first voice came from the crowd. You did such a thing to the Paka clan, and you still have the face to come back? People who betray their ancestors have no right to come back to this land. Yes, that's right. You're a traitor to the Paka clan. You coming back to this land is an insult to your ancestors and gods. Another voice was also questioning. If it wasn't for you, the Paka clan wouldn't have to suffer such humiliation. Why did you come back? A traitor like you should die in the outside world. People who betray their race shouldn't live in this world. Everyone's words became more and more agitated, and more radical. Yuan Bo had been kneeling on the ground, silently enduring all of this. He knew that all of this had started because of him, so he was willing to endure all of the abuse from his tribesmen. He had let them down, and this bit of abuse was nothing to him. Su Yun could understand Yuan Bo's thoughts, so he silently stood by Yuan Bo's side and didn't speak up for him. Perhaps Yuan Bo wanted this kind of scolding. That way, he could put down the big stone in his heart forever. That way, even if he died, he could die in peace. But not everyone could understand all of this like Su Yun. There would always be people who couldn't stand it anymore. Wang Zhe and the Zhang brothers couldn't stand it anymore, but because Su Yun didn't say anything, they didn't dare to say anything. The others also had the same thought. They couldn't hold it in anymore. Finally, Zhuo Meiyan couldn't stand it anymore. She didn't have the time to wait for Su Yun to flip out before saying, "Hey, is there something wrong with your brains? Are you crazy? Yuan Bo is your savior. How can you treat your savior like this? If Yuan Bo didn't bring us here to save you, you'd still be digging a hole, understand? He is your savior, not your sinner. The reason you can stand here and talk to us on equal terms is because Yuan Bo risked his life. Not only are you not grateful to him, but you are also insulting and scolding him. I think you people should not have been saved. You should have continued to work as coolies. Does that make you feel better?" The unfamiliar woman made all of the Paka clan shut their mouths. To be honest, they had never seen such a fierce woman. And they had seen how powerful the people Yuan Bo brought here were. Since they could defeat the 9 captains of the Viper expedition, they could also rule here like they did. "Meiyan, shut up." Su Yun suddenly said lightly, "This is Yuan Bo's clan business. As outsiders, we have no right to interrupt." When Zhuo Meiyan heard Su Yun's words, she naturally became angrier. "What did you say? Su Yun, tell me again. Isn't Yuan Bo your brother? Didn't you drink tiger whip wine and become sworn brothers? Can you bear to see your sworn brother being insulted like this? You're seriously injured for them, and now you're kneeling in front of them and begging for mercy. What kind of logic is this? Su Yun, brother. Boss Zhua is right. I can't stand it anymore. Wu Yuandong is not an impulsive person. Even he said something like this. It seems Yuan Bo's people are really too harsh on him. I don't care if Yuan Bo is your brother or not, but now a hero who saved the tribe is acting like a traitor who betrayed the tribe. I can't understand it at all. For the first time, Lin Gu didn't do as Su Yun said. He cracked the knuckles of his fists. Hee, I can't stand it anymore. Laozi will say it here today. I can ignore the internal affairs of your clan, but if anyone dares to slander Yuan Bo again, then don't blame me for being rude to him. Lin Gu. Su Yun glared at him. They still didn't understand what had happened before, which was why they said such things. Brother Yun, don't be angry with little brother Lin. Today, we'll fight with little brother Lin. Who dares to scold Yuan Bo again? We brothers don't want to either. Zhang Wanning said, Brother Yun, if we brothers did something wrong, you can punish us as you like when we go back. But we live with dignity. Seeing such a sullen thing, we can't take it. Zhang Yongliang obviously supported his brother's words and nodded seriously. He couldn't stand it anymore. Even if he had fought with Yuan Bo and Lin Gu, they wouldn't have known each other if they didn't fight. Now, heroes cherished heroes. Zhua Yeming was even more straightforward. Without saying anything, he took out the demon-subduing 9-section whip and whipped it on the ground. The only one who didn't express his position, Wang Zhe, also silently held his knife in front of him, as if he would chop anyone who dared to say anything about Yuan Bo. Chapter 564. This was why Su Yun would not speak up for Yuanbo, because Su Yun would understand Yuanbo's inner world on a deeper level than others, to experience the culture of this race. From the perspective of the culture of the Packer clan, Yuanbo, as the person who brought outsiders into the clan, was a great villain who deserved to be punished. Thank you for your kindness, but a sinner will be a sinner. Yuan Bo said, When I came back this time, I didn't intend to get Patriarch's forgiveness. I just hoped to save my clansmen from the abyss of suffering. Now that they have escaped from the abyss of suffering, my mission has been completed. Now what I have to do is to atone for my sins. I should bear the consequences of my mistakes. Zhua Meiyan was completely speechless. Why are you so stubborn? Even if you were in the wrong before, how long ago was that? At least you saved your people now, your merits outweigh your sins. Even if you were in the wrong and sinful, you have already redeemed yourself. Why are you still being humiliated by them? After that, Zhua Meiyan stood up and pointed at the Paca clan leader and his people. Touch your conscience and ask yourself, which one of you could save yourself and your family from that group of people? Is it because without Yuanbo, you wouldn't be here now? You only remember the mistakes he made, but why don't you remember that he just helped you? I ask you to think about it. If he didn't help, would you be able to talk to him like this now? Would you be able to blame him like this? That's impossible. Would he be seriously injured and on the verge of death? That's also impossible. For the first time, the Paca clan leader felt helpless. This strange woman taught them a second way of thinking. He suddenly realized that there seemed to be some meaning, as if Yuanbo was not so evil after all. But a mistake was a mistake, and it could never be erased. Furthermore, Yuanbo's mistake was to bring the sinful outsiders into their clan, and to destroy their home to its current state. There was a foul atmosphere everywhere. You're right, Yuanbo did save us from these people. But this is what he should do, because he was the one who handed us over to this group of people. The Paca clan leader said, We have the rules of our ancestors. These are things that outsiders cannot interfere with. Sister, these people are like dogs biting Lu Dongbin. They don't know how to appreciate good intentions. Let's not waste our breath on them. Zhua Yeming said, Today we are here to help Yuanbo. Since we have done what we should do, then let's go. If they don't welcome Yuanbo, then we'll take Yuanbo away. There are so many big hospitals in the city, it's just right for Yuanbo to seek medical treatment. Sky Entertainment Group is so big, I don't believe that there isn't a position suitable for Yuanbo. The outside world is always more exciting than here. Zhang Wanning and Zhang Yongliang agreed with this proposal very much. That's right. If they don't welcome us, we'll take brother Yuanbo away. We'll welcome them. In the future, we'll drink and eat meat together every day. How happy will that be? Ha ha ha. You'd better shut up. We need to get Yuanbo's opinion. Su Yun. He has the blood of the Paka clan flowing in his veins. No matter what choice he makes, we must respect him. Brother, if Yuanbo chooses to sacrifice himself to his ancestors to redeem himself, then will you respect his choice? Lin Ji's words were like a needle piercing deeply into Su Yun's heart. This question was too sharp. At least Su Yun didn't dare to think about it for a while. Maybe Yuanbo really would make this choice. Su Yun's gaze stopped on Yuanbo. He squeezed out a few words. As long as it's not a problem solved with death, I will respect him. If he must atone for his sins with death, then I'd rather not have him atone for this sin. Finally, at this moment, everyone formed a united front. As long as Yuanbo himself or his clansmen threatened Yuanbo's life, then they would never agree. The Paka clan's leader suddenly spoke, I know that today, all of the Paka clan, including me, regained our freedom. You are all the Paka clan's benefactors, including Yuanbo, are all the Paka clan's benefactors. We sincerely thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Thank you from the bottom of our hearts. Zhua Meiyan was quite satisfied with this answer. Clan leader, you don't have to thank us. Xie Yuanbo is enough. If it wasn't for him, we wouldn't have come here to cause trouble. It's so dangerous in this world of ice and snow. You really do need to thank Yuanbo for what happened today. Lin Gu also spoke. When he left that day, he didn't abandon you. He was bewitched by bad people to make money as an assassin. Those people told him that as long as he earned 100 million, he could redeem you from them. These bad people only gave him a card number. Every time he earned money, he transferred it to that card number. He didn't even know how much he had done for you and how much money he had earned. Even if he was guilty, shouldn't it be over? Perhaps Yuanbo had really done enough. The Paka clan's leader nodded and helped Yuanbo up. You are the bravest warrior of the Paka clan. Protecting the Paka clan is your eternal duty. Good child, it's so good to see you again. We all thought you would never come back. The atmosphere of the entire Paka clan fell into a state of emotion. Clan leader, now that you have all regained your freedom, you can live according to your own way of life. Su Yun said, admittedly Yuanbo has his faults, but in the end his heart belongs to the Paka clan. Now that he is here, he has completed his redemption. I hope you can forgive him, we won't stay any longer. If there's a chance, we'll meet again. Yuanbo froze for a moment when Su Yun suddenly mentioned leaving, but he didn't try to persuade him to stay. Su Yun had his reasons for everything he did. Leave. Zhua Meiyan froze. Where are you going in the middle of the night? Sleeping in a sleeping bag or a tent? Can't you spend the night here? After all, there's a house here. Would it kill you to leave tomorrow? Su Yun and Zhua Meiyan's opinions differed. Su Yun shrugged. Fine, let's decide. If you agree with me, you'll stand behind me. If you agree with Zhua Meiyan, you'll stand. Before he could finish, everyone silently walked to Zhua Meiyan's side. Even Lin Gu, who absolutely obeyed the leader's orders, was shaken. He grinned at Su Yun. Bro, I really think Sister Meiyan's words make sense this time. Fine, fine. You guys really don't treat me as your leader. Have you forgotten that orders are greater than the sky? Su Yun was really helpless. When the leader's decision was wrong, the vice leader could also raise a different opinion. Zhua Meiyan said, what do you guys think? Am I right? Yes. We don't have vice leaders. Su Yun was not convinced. There were only 9 people. What kind of leader and vice leader were they? What kind of joke was this? Everyone pointed at Zhua Meiyan. Zhua Meiyan said proudly, how about it? Do you have an opinion? I'm the vice leader. I have the right to correct the leader when he makes a wrong decision and let him make the right one. Su Yun slapped his forehead. He was completely defeated by this group of people. At this time, the leader of the Pakal clan also spoke. You are the saviors of our clan. We should treat you well with our best wine and our best bacon. Today is the day our Pakal clan is resurrected. We beg our benefactors to stay and celebrate with us. Celebrate. Su Yun, did you hear that? They are asking us to stay. Zhuo Meiyan said proudly, hurry up and agree. We haven't eaten properly all day. Su Yun was helpless. He also knew that his brothers were all physically and mentally exhausted. They only drank water and ate chocolate the whole day. Although their calories and energy were preserved, it was still not a meal. But he couldn't say it. He had a feeling that told him to leave. He must leave. The Pakal clan was a place of trouble. It was not good to stay for long. Brothers, since the leader invited you, then don't leave. Yuan Bo also urged them to stay. Brother Yun, I really don't want you to leave. Let us two brothers drink again tonight? Cough cough. Is your body okay? Su Yun said. He was well aware of the power of Liu Bei's attack. Yuan Bo patted his chest. It would be a lie to say that I'm okay, but at least my body is stronger than the snow bear. Although his punch is strong, my resistance is also very strong. Haha, there was once 1,000-pound wild boar king that couldn't kill me. This punch probably won't kill me. Fortunately, this guy's body was abnormal. If it were anyone else here, they probably wouldn't be able to withstand this kind of punch. Su Yun smiled and nodded. Okay, as long as you're okay, I'll stay and drink with you. Haha, so you agree? Zhuo Meiyan cheered. Everyone is fine. Let's relax tonight and drink until we're drunk. The leader of the Pakal clan ordered people to start cleaning up these people's bodies and all the messy things at the scene. He also ordered people to dig up the old wine they had buried for many years. He took out the most sumptuous food and lit a bonfire to entertain the friends from afar. Finally free from the haze of being ruled, the Pakal clan members also danced a unique bonfire dance after their grief, using this to thank everyone who had saved them. Su Yun was in a relaxed mood. He didn't know if they would see Yuan Bo a few more times in the future, so he drank a lot with him. In the end, Su Yun didn't even know how much he drank. The others were also very happy. The Pakal clan's old wine was very mellow and had a high alcohol content. It warmed the heart and made them feel very comfortable. Unknowingly, everyone seemed to have drunk too much. The laughter kept them company for a long, long time. Su Yun and the others didn't know when, but they all fell asleep in a daze. The fatigue of the past few days rushed to their hearts, and the feeling of being able to rest made everyone feel very comfortable. In the end, even Su Yun relaxed the last line of defense in his heart and fell into a deep slumber. Even Su Yun had completely lost consciousness. This was definitely not a normal phenomenon. But since it had reached this point, who could still wake up? Chapter 565. Although this thought had crossed his mind, Su Yun was no longer conscious of it. He was just having a very relaxing dream. The fact that the Pakal clan was saved meant that he was worthy of Yuan Bo's brotherly love for him. The last thing Su Yun wanted was to owe Yuan Bo a favor. Yuan Bo had helped him, so he had to help him. All the laughter gradually faded away, and Su Yun could no longer hear anything. When he woke up again, he only felt that his whole body was weak and powerless, and many of his joints were in pain from being strangled. When Su Yun fully opened his eyes, he couldn't help but widen them in shock. He was actually tightly bound by steel chains to a huge iron pillar. After trying to exert force, Su Yun found that he couldn't use any strength at all. What Su Yun couldn't accept was that it wasn't just him. Everyone in their team, including Lin Gur, Zhuo Meiyan, Zhuo Yeming, Wu Yuandong, Wang Zhe, Zhang Wanning, and Zhang Yongliang, were all like him. They were all tightly bound by thick steel chains to the huge iron pillar behind them. Everyone couldn't move at all. Around them stood many members of the Pakal clan. Beside the patriarch of the Pakal clan, Yuan Bo was also tied up on a cross-shaped frame. Seeing this, Su-yun knew that things weren't going well. He tried to use his chi to break free again, but his mind seemed to be sealed by something. He couldn't use any strength at all. At this time, Lin Gu, who was also tied up beside Su-yun, slowly opened his eyes. His reaction was the same as Su-yun's. He also tried to use his chi to break free, but he couldn't move at all. "Brother, what happened?" Su-yun shook his head. He didn't know what was going on, but he knew that it was definitely not something good. It seemed that the Pakal clan members they saved yesterday were going to repay their kindness with ingratitude today. If he wasn't wrong, this group of outsiders would probably be buried together with Yuan Bo, the sinner in the eyes of the Pakal clansmen. No wonder Su-yun had an ominous premonition yesterday. It turned out that something unpleasant was going to happen today. If he had known that the situation would be so serious, he would have decisively led his team away. At this time, Wu Yuandong, Zhuo Meiyan, and the others all opened their eyes one after another. It seemed that the drug that their opponents had used to knock them unconscious was especially strong. Based on their strength, the time it took for them to recover was different. But no matter what, something that could knock them out was definitely not something common. Alcohol could not possibly make them all drunk like this. Su-yun, what was going on? Why are we tied to the posts? Zhuo Meiyan's shock was even more exaggerated than the others. After all, she was a girl. It was hard for her to accept losing consciousness for an entire night. When she thought that she must have been drugged, she had the urge to kill someone. Calm down. But the Pakal clan's patriarch was expressionless. Without the slightest hint of self-reproach, he said to them with a straight face, "Yuanbo's heart has been completely changed. He has been corrupted by you. He has become your eagle and hound, a chess piece that you use. It's all because he's too naive. I want him to be baptized by the gods again. You people don't have to keep up the act. I heard it all yesterday." Su-yun was puzzled. "What did you hear?" "Patriarch, we don't have any disloyalty. Is there any misunderstanding? If there's anything, we can talk about it clearly. Don't be impulsive. You're still pretending at this time?" The Pakal clan's patriarch said, "Yesterday, when you were fighting with Liu Bei, I was lying on the ground. He said he wanted to share with you, but you didn't want to. You said that since you could have everything for yourself, why did you want to share with him? Humph, you're all sinners. You just want to occupy our homeland." Su-yun really didn't know whether to laugh or cry. "Oh my God, this old man is too naive, isn't he?" "Patriarch, I'm really convinced." "Su-yun, what I said to Liu Bei was not true at all. I was just disturbing his mind. I was stirring up trouble. This is called psychological warfare, you know? You didn't really think that I would occupy your Pakal clan's territory, did you?" Everyone laughed helplessly. So it was all a misunderstanding. Zhuo Meiyan also laughed helplessly. "Oh my God, how can there be someone as naive as you in this world? Patriarch, Su-yun is trying to provoke you, you know? Oh my God, if it's a misunderstanding, then hurry up and let us go." Lin Gu also didn't know whether to laugh or cry. However, things weren't as optimistic as they thought. Only they thought this was a misunderstanding. The Pakal clan people didn't think so. They still thought that Su-yun and the others were making up lies to deceive them. The Pakal clan's patriarch continued, "Our naivety and kindness have caused us to suffer. Maybe our ancestors were right. We should be fierce. Only if we continue to eat human flesh and blood will the other tribes be afraid of us. Today, I won't be fooled again, and I definitely won't trust any other tribe people. Since the gods have arranged it this way, I will use your flesh and blood to restore our tribe's tradition." "What's the meaning of this?" Zhuo Meiyan's expression changed. She remembered Feng Ying's warning. Feng Ying said that the Pakal clan was a cannibal tribe. It was because they had done many cannibals in the Xing and mountain area that they were chased out to this world of ice and snow. It seemed that the gods saw that they were repentant and gave them this blessed land to live in. Cannibals. Oh my God. Zhuo Meiyan felt disgusted just thinking about it. If she really became a meal for these people, then... she really couldn't imagine it. Get ready, the patriarch ordered. A group of people began to carry firewood and other flammable items to the iron pillar where Su Yun and the others were tied up. Su Yun was stunned. This iron pillar looked just like the iron pillar that King Zhou had used to kill his loyal subjects. Could it be that this fellow wanted to burn them alive and then eat them while the meat was cooked? F***CKU. No matter how civilized Su Yun was, he couldn't take it anymore. Patriarch, I didn't fall out with you because of Yuan Bo. If you insist on doing this, then don't blame us for being rude. Su Yun said, You'd better stop quickly. How can you use such a perverted method? You're too inhumane. Zhuo Yeming was stunned. What's a burning rod? Wu Yuandong's Adam's apple bobbed up and down. He swallowed a mouthful of saliva, sweat dripping down his forehead. When King Zhou was on the throne, he set up a cruel punishment to suppress those who resisted. According to historical records, King Zhou used a burning rod method. It was to burn the copper pillar until it was boiling hot and roast the people on it to death. What the hell? Zhuo Yeming was almost scared out of his wits. This was too cruel. No, it couldn't even be described as cruel. This was perverted. If he were to die like this, he would rather be shot to death. Zhuo Yeming saw that everyone was stuffing the firewood under the iron pillar. He knew that Wu Yuandong wasn't joking. Zhuo Meiyan also panicked. Yuan Bo, hurry up and tell them to stop. We're here to help you. How can you do this to us, Yuan Bo? Chapter 566. When Lin Gu heard this, he immediately turned hostile. Yuan Bo, you said you already knew. Even so, you didn't warn us? Were you going to use us from the beginning? Humph, my brother did his best to help you and treated you as his sworn brother. But now, you're using this method to repay his kindness. Aren't you going a little too far? Yuan Bo also blamed himself deeply in his heart. He never thought he would do such a thing, but in the face of his suffering clansmen, he still did something unimaginable in the end. He swore that he definitely didn't want to use them from the beginning, but the more he thought about it, the more he was worried that the clan leader meeting would play out the act of repaying kindness with ingratitude. He didn't point it out because he was holding on to a fluke. At this point, what was done could not be undone. What was done could not be undone. If they wanted to change the situation, they could only look forward to witnessing a miracle. Before Su Yun and the others woke up, Yuan Bo begged the clan leader, but even if he kowtowed until his head broke, he couldn't change the clan leader's decision. The clan leader was determined to cut off the source of all evil. Don't say any more. Su Yun stopped Lin Gu. Yuan Bo definitely didn't want to use me from the beginning. I believe in him because he treats me as a brother. No one is to blame for this. If you want to blame someone, you can only blame the clan leader for being too old. His mind isn't clear anymore. He can't tell who's an enemy and who's a friend. If I had known earlier, I wouldn't have said anything. Patriarch, I want to ask you, have you ever thought that if I wanted to take over your Paca clan's homeland, when I first entered this land with Yuan Bo, I shouldn't have chosen to leave? The Pacal clan's clan leader was now a tortoise eating a weight. He was determined to eliminate future troubles for the Pacal clan. I remember you. The first time Yuan Bo brought in an outsider, it was you. At the time, we were all scared, but as we got to know you, we realized that you're a good person. But even if you're a good person, if it wasn't for you, Yuan Bo wouldn't have brought in an unfamiliar outsider a second time. Because of your kindness, Yuan Bo and we naively thought that outsiders were all friendly. That's why the Pacal clan suffered the most humiliation in the world. Rather than saying that you're a friend of the Pacal clan, you're the source of our sins. Rather than being a friend of the Pacal clan, you're the sinner of the Pacal clan. Today, I want to use you as a sacrifice to the ancestors of the Paca clan and appease their anger. I need the blood of a sinner like you. Bullshit. Lin Gu cursed angrily. Old thing, we gave you face because you're older. The mistake of those bastards was made by those bastards. Why should my brother pay tribute to your ancestors? Could it be that your ancestors were all muddle-headed old bastards like you? This is the first time I've heard of someone using a benefactor as a sacrifice to their ancestors. Zhua Meiyan was also angry. Clan leader, aren't you afraid that your ancestors will come out of the ground and beat you, senile old fool? This is called biting the hand that feeds you, biting the hand that feeds you. You don't know how to appreciate others' kindness. If you dare to lay a hand on us, you'll definitely be struck by lightning and die a horrible death. Your entire clan will be the same. Sooner or later, you'll be controlled by bad people again. Faced with this curse, the Pakal clan members were very angry. After all, this was their most humiliating history. Now that Zhua Meiyan brought it up, of course they couldn't accept it. Thus, the speed at which they added firewood became even faster. Zhua Yeming shook his head, speechless. Sis, stop cursing. If you keep cursing, this old man will probably light a fire for us. Who would have thought that I, Zhua Yeming, would die in such a godforsaken place? And die in such a horrible way. The heavens are too unfair. I've lived for so many years and listened to everything my sis said. I've never even pushed a girl before. It can't be that bad for me, can it? Who would have thought that the two of us were born in the snow and died in the snow? Zhang Wanning, on the other hand, was open-minded. Brother, to be able to die with our Zhang clan's benefactor, we didn't lose anything. Looks like we've done a lot of good deeds in our previous lives. Otherwise, the heavens wouldn't have favored us so much. Even if we're in the underworld, we'll help Brother Yun get rid of those little ghosts. He didn't give me the chance to kill Scarlet Scorpion in vain. Zhang Yongliang nodded vigorously, but then shook his head. Brother Yun is a good person. He definitely won't go to the underworld with us. He'll definitely go to heaven. You two are quite optimistic. Ha ha, life is just the blink of an eye. It's like this for 30 years, and it's also like this for 50 years. Wu Yuandong was deeply moved. My life should have ended 2 years ago. Now that I'm able to live a few more days and meet such a fated brother Su Yun, I'll be able to live a little longer. Although this life is a little short, it's still worth it. At least it's not a wasted trip. If you don't have a confidant you admire in your life, even if you live 100 years, it'll be a waste. Wang Zhe laughed bitterly. You two are really good. Each one is more optimistic than the other. I'm not as open-minded as you. I don't care if I die, but I really can't bear to see Chief Zhua. I can only blame myself for not having the ability. Now, I don't have the ability to save the person who's helped me in this life. Chief Zhua, don't blame me. I'm not that unreasonable. Zhua Meiyan snorted. Since she was going to die no matter what, she suddenly became open-minded. Sister has no regrets in this life. At least I'm the only woman who can die with Su Yun. Humph, Su Yun, when the time comes, we'll be separated from your other beauties. At that time, you'll be mine alone. Lin Gu chuckled. Brother, looks like you're the one who didn't lose out. Even at this time, you still have Sister Meiyan to rejoice. I've never met a woman who's so devoted to me before. Haha, I really don't know if I should regret it. If I went to Japan and Brother Zhe took care of the Nakamura family's matter, I wouldn't be in such an awkward situation today. After all, Brother Zhe is more experienced than me. If he's here now, he might be able to think of a way to escape. You're naive again. Zhua Yeming shook his head. Even my brother-in-law can't think of a way. What do you think your CFA eyes can do? Lin Gu was unconvinced. That's not necessarily true. However, if my brother Zhe takes your position, he and Brother Yun can discuss it today. Then, things might really turn around. The few of them actually became more and more open-minded as they talked and complained to each other. At least, they didn't feel afraid of the lynching anymore. Su Yun smiled bitterly in his heart. He really didn't know if he should say anything or not. Everything that happened today was because of his mistake. If he hadn't been too careless, this wouldn't have happened. However, now wasn't the time to regret leaving yesterday. If he had really left yesterday, Yuanbo would definitely be executed today. Su Yun didn't want anything to happen to anyone around him, including Yuanbo. However, he really couldn't do anything now. The drug made him unable to use any strength. This feeling made him feel completely helpless. Arabica Wula Dig. The patriarch suddenly stood in front of Yuenbua and started chanting. Perhaps only the patriarch knew what this spell was. As he chanted, he circled around Yuenbua. At this time, four clansmen carrying a huge long chopping board walked over from not far away. The chopping board was densely packed with short blades, each of which was incomparably sharp. Su Yun's eyes suddenly widened. Was the patriarch of the Packer family going to give Yuenbua the death penalty? At this moment, Yuenbua spoke for the last time. Patriarch, I beg you again. I swear on the honor of the gods and ancestors that my friends are definitely not here to harm the Packer family. They are really here to help us. I can accept the baptism of these 108 knives. I can use my blood to eliminate all the sins and mistakes I have committed. I only beg you to let my friends go. I beg you. If they hadn't helped me, I wouldn't have come back here today. The last plea was a heart-wrenching pain. Yuenbua didn't seem to think that he would come back alive. However, when the patriarch really wanted to kill Su Yun and the others, he really couldn't ignore it. Su Yun was the best brother he had in his life. He was even better than all the brothers in the family. Impossible. The patriarch pointed at Su Yun and said, "This person is the source of all evil. He is the one who brought you into the abyss of evil. I must use his flesh and blood as a sacrifice to our ancestors. Let all our people eat his flesh and blood. Let us never forget this sinner who caused us to suffer so much." What kind of bullsh*t logic was this? The patriarch's stubbornness had stimulated the anger in the hearts of Su Yun and the others to the maximum. If it wasn't for the damned medicine that made them weak, these people would have slaughtered the entire Packer clan if they really went berserk. Su Yun thought a lot during this period. He was worried that Lin Guo would pass on Gu Zueren's words to him. He was worried that Ruan Qingxuang and Qin Waner would be in danger in Shenzhen. He was worried that Chou Yun and Guagua would be harassed in school. He was worried about his brothers in Hadong. He was worried that Tang Jiu's project in Qingdao would be troublesome without Zhou Meiyan's presence. He was worried that those bastards in Dongying would harass Turtle Island again after solving their domestic problems. He was worried that his brothers in Dragon's Fury would be at a disadvantage when they fought against He Zhong's special forces. In short, he was worried about a lot of things. He was concerned about a lot of things. To be honest, if it was possible, he would rather pay any price than face death, because there were many people who needed him, and because his death would cause many people to be at a loss. A smile was the calmest acceptance in the face of death. Su Yun's smile was so peaceful. Patriarch, I can accept all your punishments. I admit that I am the source of evil for the Parkle clan, but I hope that you can promise me one thing. They are innocent. This is their first time coming here with me. They are your benefactors who have helped you. They brought evil into the Parkle clan before, so all the fault is mine alone. If you want to punish them, punish me alone. Only then will your God be satisfied. With a buzz, everyone's mind went blank. Su Yun actually wanted to bear all the punishment alone at the last moment. He wanted to use his own life to exchange for everyone's lives. Perhaps this was where Su Yun's charm lay. Even at the most critical moment, he could still keep a clear head. Chapter 567. Who dares to touch my man? I won't let him off even if I become a ghost. When Zhou Meiyan saw the Packer tribe's patriarch's gaze fall on Su Yun, she angrily scolded, "I, white-lipped bamboo green, am a woman of my word. If anything happens to Su Yun here today, I will definitely raze this place to the ground. Old thing, you better remember my words." Her anger was not without reason. If she had known that things would turn out like this, she would have told Su Yun Fengying's advice in advance. It turned out that these people's primitive nature was so strong. And yesterday Su Yun said he was leaving. If she had not insisted on staying to participate in the bonfire celebration, she would not have gotten into trouble today. If something happened to Su Yun, then in Zhou Meiyan's heart, she would be the main culprit. She would never allow this to happen, because she would never be the main culprit who harmed Su Yun. She wanted Su Yun to be safe, even if she was eaten alive by this group of disgusting cannibals. If you want to eat, eat me. I have tender skin and tender flesh, much better than Su Yun. What's so good about the flesh of these men? Zhua Meiyan continued, if you don't want me to take revenge in the future, then let them go. Kill me as a sacrifice to your ancestors, and let the others go. I'll only warn you once. Sister, what nonsense are you talking about? Zhou Yeming glared and said, if one must die, then let me die. Anyway, I'm not good enough, I'll only cause you trouble in this life. Su Yun sternly scolded, stop arguing. There was no point in saying these things. What they want is me, the source of evil. What does it have to do with you? Don't talk nonsense if you don't know. If I hadn't disturbed the peace of the Paca tribe, maybe the Viper expedition would never have found this place. The punishment I should bear is unavoidable. Pausing for a moment, Su Yun continued, but you guys are only here with good intentions to help Yuanbo save his clansmen with me. All of this is to help the Pacal clan, not to bring them any source of evil. You shouldn't be punished. I believe that the ancestors of the Paca clan are reasonable people. They won't let the clan leader kill the innocent. Yuanbo, what do you think? Yuanbo, who was tied to the cross, raised his head and roared, yes. Clan leader, release them. Su Yun's gaze was like a sharp lightning bolt, fiercely piercing into the eyes of Pacal clan's patriarch. Pacal clan's patriarch trembled, almost unable to disobey Su Yun's order. But at the last moment, the patriarch maintained his composure and shook his head slowly. Because all of you know the location of the Pacal clan's homeland, I can't let any of you go back. If I want the Pacal clan to be undisturbed for the rest of their lives, I can't let any outsider leave alive. Only in this way can I extinguish the source of all evil. And just now this girl said that if given the chance, I believe she really will raise the Pacal clan to the ground. Zhou Meiyan struggled for a long time but still showed no signs of breaking free. She gritted her teeth and cursed, damn old man, you think Laonyang is joking with you? Laonyang means what she says. Lin Gu smiled bitterly and said, I don't know if my master knows that I've been barbecued by the savages here. Phew, if he really flips out, he'll definitely break his vow to kill. He's already washed his hands of killing, don't force him. As the last disciple of the evil god, Lin Gu was very favored by the evil god. If someone really dared to kill Lin Gu, the evil god would definitely kill him. Old man Cthulhu would definitely break it and personally take revenge for his closed-door disciple. At that time, it wouldn't be so easy to clean up the mess. Haha, our Three Lotus Association's leader has always said that he'll deal with me personally. If he knows that I've been killed by a group of savages, I'm afraid he'll come here and burn everything to ashes. Wu Yuandong also said indifferently, haha, there's no such thing as an airtight wall in the world. Sooner or later, your Paca clan will be held responsible for your foolish actions. Clan leader, listen to me, I can make them swear that they'll never come here to cause trouble for you, but you have to promise me that you'll let them go. I can die here to atone for my sins, but they can't. Su Yun, if you don't want the power behind them to cause trouble for you, then let them all go. I swear on my ancestors, I definitely have a way to make them not take revenge on you. Zhua Meiyan was the first to reject Su Yun. Impossible. If they dare to let me go, I'll definitely destroy them. Are you stupid? Why do you want to make such a fearless sacrifice? It's better for me to die than for everyone to die. Su Yun said angrily, Zhua Meiyan, don't you think for your Zhua clan? If your brother dies, your clan's bloodline will be cut off. If you and I both die, who will fulfill old Master Zhang's dying wish? Qin Island Film and Television Plaza is still waiting for you to complete it. Lin Gu, promise me that you'll take good care of the people I ask you to take care of. Leave this place and go find Gu Zuerin immediately. Ask him to calculate the safest place for them. Su Yun had already begun his own arrangements, but the chief of the Paca clan said indifferently, Su Yun, I did not agree to your request. Moreover, I will definitely not agree to your request. As long as all of you die here, I can naturally cut off the source of all evil. I won't believe your words. I won't let evil go and let evil have the chance to harm my people. Su Yun had been trying to curry favor with the clan leader, but this old thing actually provoked him again and again. Enough. I've made enough concessions. If you don't believe me, you can try. If you kill all of us, I promise that your clan will be destroyed within a year. Clan leader, you should still remember those people who came here with me to train last time. If you don't want them to find this place, then do as I say. This time, the clan leader was really shocked. Of course, he remembered that Su Yun had brought so many people with him back then. It seemed like there was another source of evil outside, and there was more than one source of evil. What was he supposed to do? If you let them go, I can guarantee that your Pakel clan will continue to live in peace. Su Yun saw the clan leader's hesitation. Clan leader, I hope you seriously consider what is the most important thing. If you must repay kindness with enmity, then don't blame the gods for punishing you. The Pakel clan leader pondered for a while. I can't believe you at all, and I don't have time to argue with you now. The time has come. It's time for the traitors to atone for their sins with blood. After saying this, the 4 people who were carrying the table placed the thing full of short blades in front of the patriarch. The patriarch actually bent over and picked up a knife, walked in front of Yuan Bo, and then chanted an incantation. Yuan Bo lowered his head, as if he was completely prepared to bear everything. What was he doing? Bleeding Yuan Bo? Yuan Bo, for every level of sin, you would have to bear the corresponding level of punishment. The Pakel clan leader said, and you committed the heaviest sin, so you have to bear the extreme punishment of all 108 knives piercing through your body. Are you ready? Yuan Bo nodded. Clan leader, I'm ready for everything. I just want to beg you one last time, don't hurt them. You just need to be prepared for yourself. Don't worry about them. The Pakel clan leader angrily rebuked, when you are atoning for your sins, you can't think about anything else. You have to tell the gods about your sins over and over again. If the gods forgive you, then you will live when the punishment is over. If the gods don't forgive you, then you can only go to heaven to atone for your sins with our ancestors. Hearing this, Su Yun angrily cursed. Ridiculous. More than 100 knives can completely pierce a person into dice. How can he live? Even if the gods forgive him, he will die from excessive bloodthirst. What's more, in order to save you, he suffered such serious injuries, and you can still do this kind of behavior, simply inhumane. You, the source of evil, have no right to speak. Without waiting for the clan leader to speak, the person beside him already couldn't control himself. He lit a torch, then walked to the big iron pillar where Su Yun was, and threw the torch under the firewood under Su Yun's iron pillar without hesitation. When the dry wood and the raging fire came together, of course, the flame fiercely jumped out, and in an instant, the fire was big. With this kind of fire, even if the iron pillar wasn't hot, Su Yun would be roasted on the fire. Bastard! Zhua Meiyan hysterically cursed, but it was all too late. The flame under Su Yun's body was getting bigger and bigger. The situation had reached a point where it could no longer be salvaged. The moment the fire burned, the clan leader waved his hand and stabbed the first knife into Yuan Bo's shoulder. Yuan Bo clenched his teeth and resisted the urge to scream. His face was red, and his lips trembled slightly. Brother Yun, if there is an afterlife, Yuan Bo will do anything to repay you. We shouldn't have King come to save you barbarians. Lin Gu angrily cursed the clan leader. Hurry up and put out the fire. No matter how they struggled, the Paker clan leader had no intention of stopping, and silently picked up the second knife. At this time, the person who lit the firewood under Su Yun lit another torch and walked directly to the iron pillar where Zhua Meiyan was. If you King dare to burn my sister, I will kill your whole family. Zhua Yeming screamed at the top of his lungs. Burn me if you dare. CK. You are not King human. Bastard. But no matter how much he cursed, that person resolutely threw the torch under Zhua Meiyan's feet, and the fire was ignited in an instant. Zhua Meiyan, on the other hand, was calm. At this moment, only the thought of being together with Su Yun was in her mind. Even if they were to die, they would die together. Su Yun looked at the fire under Zhuo feet, and his face was ashen. He shouted at Yuan Bo with all his might, "Yuan Bo, I am sorry about this. I said before that I would help your people, but now I have. Since your people treated me like this, then don't blame me for doing something that will hurt your people. Let me apologize first. I swear that if anyone dares to hurt this woman, I will bury them with their lives." Zhuo Meiyan actually smiled in the face of death. These were the most beautiful words she had ever heard in her life. To hear these words from Su Yun's mouth, she felt that death was worth it. Who would have thought that she was so important in Su Yun's heart? Chapter 568. Enduring the excruciating pain, Yuan Bo spoke to the leader of the Paca clan in a weak voice. "Leader, please extinguish the fire under the other people's feet no matter what. Although Su Yun and I call each other brothers and we haven't really worked together for a long time, I know him. If we're not the same type of people, we won't become close friends. If he says he'll do it, he'll do it. If he says he'll exterminate the Paca clan for that woman, he'll definitely do it. It's just like how I swore to save you from the Viper expedition back then. I didn't go back on my words in the end. Su Yun is someone like me. Chief, for the sake of our clansmen, please believe me. You must not harm those he does not wish to harm, or else he will not forgive us, the Paca clan, for everything we have done to him. Chief, please do not continue. I alone am enough to atone for my sins. They really did not commit any sins. Why must they be buried with a sinner like me?" The leader of the Paca clan slowly moved away from the handle of the dagger and stared at Yuan Bo. His eyes were filled with heartache and regret. "Yuan Bo, do you know how much I miss you? You're the bravest warrior of the Paca clan. When you were 3 years old, I had always thought highly of you. I really can't bear to do this to you, but you have indeed committed a heinous crime, and the source of this crime is these people. If it weren't for these outsiders, you wouldn't have committed such a crime. Clan leader, don't ever trust any outsiders again." After a pause, the leader of the Paca clan continued, "Child, you must endure the punishment of these 108 slashes. I believe you'll be able to endure it. As long as the ancestors and the gods forgive you and let you live, you'll still be the bravest warrior of the Paca clan. Don't blame me for being cruel, the ancestors' rules can't be broken. I accept the punishment. Leader, quickly extinguish the fire under their feet. If you really care about the Paca clan, please don't hurt the people around Su Yun." Yuan Bo still insisted, "Believe me, he really has the ability to exterminate the entire Paca clan. Don't challenge his bottom line. There's a limit to anyone's patience. What right does he have to exterminate our Paca clan?" The patriarch sneered, "Yuanbo, do you know why I'm treating them like this today? In the words of the outsiders, this is called cutting the weeds and eliminating the roots. If I don't want the Paca clan to face the danger of extinction in the future, I will completely make them lose this opportunity for revenge. If you want them to completely lose the chance to take revenge, then completely wipe out their hope." Yuan Bo's breathing was heavy. "Don't do this. There are miracles in the world, just like what happened today. Back then, we had no hope of saving our race, but a miracle still happened today. Chief, I beg you, don't continue making mistakes. Believe me, I'm really doing this for the sake of the Paca clan." The clan leader still shook his head firmly. "No, I am the clan leader, everything is decided by me. The last time such a disaster happened, it was because we trusted you and thought that all outsiders were friendly. I definitely won't make the same mistake twice today. Child, the stupid person isn't me, it's you. Why can't you learn from your mistakes?" Seeing that Yuan Bo was still stubborn, the patriarch quickly left his side and continued to get the knife. At the same time, the Paca clan members started to light a fire under the feet of Lin Ge, Wu Yuandong, and the others. The iron pillar was hollow, and there was a hole at the bottom. When the firewood was put in and ignited, the heat spread quickly. It could even be said that it spread very quickly. Su Yun, who was tied to the pillar first, already started to feel the iron pillar slowly heat up. Su Yun once again tried to break through the blocked layer of internal energy in his body, but every attempt was so weak and powerless. He really didn't expect the Paka clan to use such a powerful drug. Their bodies were already different from ordinary people, but they still couldn't break free from the drug's control. It was obvious that this drug was definitely not ordinary. With his life hanging by a thread, Su Yun didn't react much to death. After all, when he really joined the Dragon Fury team, he was already prepared to die under any circumstances. But with so many important people around him, Su Yun really didn't want to die like this. Boom! A huge red flame suddenly appeared in the east, creating a blinding light in the daytime. The red flame easily broke through the ice and snow on the ground and rushed toward the Paka clan's tribe. This was obviously a powerful flamethrower. How could there be a flamethrower in a place like this? Su Yun's mind buzzed. What the hell was going on? Could it be that the Viper expedition team had just been wiped out yesterday, and now there were substitutes coming to continue oppressing the Paka clan? Faced with this huge flame, the Paka clan members were stunned. Many of them stopped what they were doing and focused their attention on the Patriarch. Everyone wanted the Patriarch to give them a clear answer as to what was going on. The Patriarch was also stunned. He was also afraid that the companions of the foreign tribe members who had just been killed would come back to attack their tribe again. It should be known that they were completely unprepared. If the foreign tribe members came again, they wouldn't have any ability to resist. Patriarch, let go of me. The Paka clan is in danger. Yuan Bo struggled for a moment. I'd rather die in battle. The panicked Patriarch did want to let go of Yuan Bo, but he thought that once he let go of Yuan Bo would also let go of the people on the iron pillars. In that case, even if the foreign tribe members helped them fight off the invaders, they would still not be polite to him. After all, he had already sentenced them to death. No. The Patriarch didn't agree to Yuan Bo's request. He said seriously to the Paka clan members, "Now, the Paka clan is once again being provoked by the foreign tribe. Today, we will fight for our homeland. My people, take out the weapons we seized yesterday. We will fight the invaders to the end." All the Paka clan members frantically took out the weapons they had seized yesterday. Because the Viper expedition team had been completely wiped out, their weapons and equipment had all been seized by the Paka clan members. Looking at the Paka clan members holding the best weapons and equipment, the Patriarch was full of confidence. Soon, two people holding huge flamethrowers appeared. As the two of them exclaimed, the four people behind them rushed over. It seemed that their destination was indeed this place. However, after a careful count, this group of people actually only had 6 people. Zuomeyan's throat was already smoking from the heat of the fire, but she still looked over curiously. What she saw left her completely dumbfounded. She almost shouted hysterically, "Big Sister Feng Ying!" Feng Ying was actually here. Su Yun was completely stunned. After all, Feng Ying had been with Zhang Taisui for so many years, but she still didn't have any cultivation. How could she possibly come to this place covered in snow? What kind of joke was this? And what could she do even if she came? With just a few people, how could she fight against a group of Paka clan members who had extremely strong physiques? And these Paka clan members were all equipped with the best weapons and equipment. Wasn't this clearly sending them to their deaths? Sister Feng Ying came to save us. Zhua Yeming was an optimist. His face was full of smiles. When Feng Ying heard the shouts, she looked over and was immediately frightened. Why were all of them placed on the iron pillars to be burned? What was going on? When the chief of the Paka clan saw that the two parties knew each other, he was even more certain that Su Yun's goal was not to help them, but to take over their homeland. The anger in his heart burned uncontrollably. He stood up angrily and commanded all the Paka clan members to shout angrily. "Did you see that? This is the real goal of the outsiders. All of them have colluded to take over our homeland." The chief shouted with righteous indignation, "Today, we will fight it out with them. Use the guns in our hands to fight them. Sister Feng Ying, run. They have weapons." Su Yun also shouted at the top of his lungs. Too many people had already been sacrificed in this matter. He didn't want any more innocent people to be sacrificed. Feng Ying was stunned. She didn't know what to do. If she had come alone, she wouldn't have been able to find this place. Even if she had found it, she would have been sent to her death along with them. Luckily, old Master Zhang had given her a number before he died. He told her to call this person in case of an emergency. A gust of cold wind blew past Feng Ying's side, and the team that originally had 6 people was now 1 less person. A figure that normal people couldn't see clearly with their naked eyes stood in front of all the Paca clan members like a flash of lightning. On the spot, Feng Ying opened her mouth wide. No wonder Mr. Zhang asked her to contact this person when she was in danger. It turned out that although this middle-aged man looked ordinary, he was actually a great master that she didn't even dare to imagine. Sure enough, one couldn't judge a book by its cover, and the sea couldn't be measured with a pint pot. This sudden movement of the figure also convinced Su Yun and the others. Because they were all masters, they could see this person's movements and speed. It could be said that this person's strength was definitely above everyone else's. Even if it was Su Yun, in front of this dregs of a middle-aged man, he was absolutely nothing. At most, he was only fit to carry his shoes. Burp. The middle-aged man came in front of all the Paca clan members. Without any hesitation, he let out a loud burp. Yeah. Su Yun and the others felt as if a cawing crow had flown over their heads. Just a moment ago, they had imagined this dregs of a middle-aged man to be a super-legendary figure. Now, he had completely shattered their fantasy with a single burp. How could those legendary characters not pay attention to their own image? The Paca clan leader and the other Paca clan members finally recovered from their shock. They all raised the weapons in their hands, ready to fire at this middle-aged man. But what happened next made them even more speechless. These Paca clan members had only seen the Viper expedition team shoot. They had never actually used a gun before. When they seized the weapons yesterday, Su Yun was afraid that the guns would accidentally fire. He had ordered Lin Gu and Wu Yuandong to lock all the guns. But these Paca clan members didn't know how to unlock the safety. They could only hold the guns and lock them, but they couldn't actually fire a bullet. In an instant, the atmosphere in the room seemed to have frozen. Chapter 569. The dread-looking middle-aged man scratched his head and said helplessly, "Is this how your tribe welcomes guests?" I, the Wine-Sword Immortal, spent so much effort to find this place. Are you not going to use your Paca tribe's ancient wine to entertain me? I heard that your wine is 80% alcohol. Then try it and see if it can make me, this old drunkard, drunk. As soon as he said this, the entire Paca tribe was shocked. They didn't think that this dread-looking middle-aged man would so impolitely ask them for wine. This guy really made people scratch their heads. Even the Paca tribe's chief took a while to react. This guy's behavior was really too strange. It was completely different from what he imagined an outsider to be. Although people who liked to drink were all sentimental people, the Paca tribe's chief had already sworn that he would not make friends with any outsider. Naturally, he wouldn't entertain him with wine. Su Yun's shock was completely different from the shock of the Paca clansmen. Even the youngest Lin Gu and Zhua Yeming had probably heard of the Wine-Sword Immortal's great name. This wasn't a name that would be casually mentioned by others. This dread-looking old man was joking, right? The corner of Lin Ji's mouth twitched. He had heard some things about the Wine-Sword Immortal from his master, the evil god. Therefore, this name, in his mind, was definitely an awesome existence. Wu Yuandong couldn't help but swallow his saliva. Back then, before he left the Three Lotus Association, he had heard from the association leader that the former association leader had offended someone and attracted the Wine-Sword Immortal. At that time, the Wine-Sword Immortal, who had just made his debut, had single-handedly turned the Three Lotus Association upside down. Based on age, the Wine-Sword Immortal should be in his 50s. He really matched this dread-looking middle-aged man. Could it be that today he was really lucky to witness his senior's demeanor? Zhua Meiyan could only laugh dryly. This uncle's joke was too much, right? That's right, she admitted that his speed just now was indeed astonishing. People who could have such speed, when placed in front of the younger generation like them, were all high and mighty. However, the name of the Wine Sword Immortal, that was a name on par with Zhang Tai Sui back then. Why would such a person come to this place with Feng Ying? Su Yun looked up and down at the middle-aged man who called himself the Wine Sword Immortal. His appearance was nothing special, his figure was nothing special, and he didn't see any sword or wine gourd on him. Wasn't this too different from the Wine Sword Immortal in his imagination? The Zhang brothers and Wang Zhe glanced at each other and helplessly shrugged their shoulders. They had originally thought that Sister Feng Ying had sent some heavenly soldiers and generals. Although this person's strength was not ordinary, it inexplicably made them feel a little disappointed. Could it be that the external image was so important? If a person with strength did not have an image, would it still make people feel, that? I'm not kidding. Where's the wine? The dread-looking middle-aged man who called himself the Wine Sword Immortal spoke to his clan chief again. Don't be so stingy. Confucius said, isn't it a joy to have friends coming from afar? If you're not even willing to let me drink a cup of wine, then how can we make friends? The patriarch of the Paka clan did not pay any attention to this half-crazed, half-insane middle-aged man. He ordered his clansmen again, take down all the invaders. Even if we don't have weapons, the warriors of the Paka clan will not be afraid. Go. With that order, the warriors of the Paka clan rushed towards the middle-aged man like a swarm of bees. Every one of them had a ferocious aura, as if they were going to devour his flesh and drink his blood. Seeing that the self-proclaimed Wine Sword Immortal was about to be swallowed up by the crowd, Feng Ying could not help but cover her mouth with her hand. Suddenly, the middle-aged man raised his head. His eyes shot out a domineering aura that seemed to stop time. Wang. The entire world seemed to have quieted down in that second. Even Su Yun felt his soul being fiercely attacked by some kind of powerful aura. This kind of overwhelming feeling caused Su Yun to be completely stunned. That's right, this was domineering aura. This kind of intense pressure was domineering aura. To be able to display this kind of domineering aura with just a gaze, only a high-level expert in the Grandmaster realm could do it. Su Yun was very clear about this point. That was because when he was in the Divine Dragon Special Forces, he had seen his master Wang Yi use this kind of domineering aura. At that time, the pressure that Wang Yi gave him was also like this. Because Su Yun's strength had not reached the level of a super expert, the pressure he felt was even more intense. Now that Su Yun was already a super expert, this middle-aged man could still give him such an intense pressure. Clearly, even if this person's strength was not higher than Wang Yi's, it was definitely not weaker than Wang Yi's. He was definitely a Grandmaster Realm expert. A master of the Grandmaster Realm. This was a great shock to the people present. Not only Su Yun's strength had reached the level of a super expert, but Lin Gu and Wu Yuandong were also super experts. Zhua Meiyan's strength could also be said to be the strength of a super expert, but her state of mind was still hovering in the first-class 9th stage. After all, her cultivation was taught by Zhang Tai Sui, and it was not something that she learned overnight. Therefore, her physique was more special. Other than the four of them, although the others were also well-known first-class experts, compared to them, the pressure they felt was more obvious. Zhang Wuning and Zhang Yongliang's eyes were about to pop out. This was the first time in their lives that they had experienced this kind of feeling in their legs. This kind of terrifying feeling was directly forced into their spinal cord. Zhua Yeming and Wang Zhe did not dare to laugh at this middle-aged man that Sister Feng Ying had invited. This guy was definitely the most powerful expert they had ever seen in their lives. The feeling of being an Aunt Rose in the hearts of these first-class experts. One could imagine how terrifying the strength of this middle-aged man, who called himself the Wine Sword Immortal, was. Su Yun's mind was in a complete mess. Perhaps this middle-aged man was not talking nonsense. Just now, when he reported his identity, he was so calm and indifferent. It seemed that he really was the Wine Sword Immortal, Xian Yuanji. Sister Feng Ying really could give them a pleasant surprise. No, it should be said that she was actually able to invite the Wine Sword Immortal to help. Sister Feng Ying was really a fierce person. Su Yun and the other experts felt the pressure of the domineering aura emitted by the Wine Sword Immortal. The people of the Paka clan fell into a deep fear. Even warriors of Yuan Bo's status could not help but feel their legs go soft. Some of the weaker ones could not continue to support their bodies and knelt on the ground. Some of the weaker clansmen directly fainted and fell to the ground. Just one look was enough to turn the whole situation upside down. This was the strength of a master in the Guru realm. You, who are you? The patriarch of the Paka clan hugged his walking stick with all his strength, barely supporting himself and not falling to the ground. It was as if he had just seen a monster. None of the Paka clan's people were cowards. Every single one of them had to hunt a wild boar weighing over 500 kilograms or a brown bear that lived deep in the mountains and forests with their own hands during their coming-of-age ceremony. Therefore, they weren't cowards. Even so, the fear caused by the huge pressure still caused many people to faint. Someone who could emit such a domineering aura, if he was not a monster, then what was he? The Wine Sword Immortal suddenly retracted his domineering aura. His face continued to show a bored smile. Did I forget to introduce myself? I'm called Shen Yuanji. My gender is male. I love wine. He, patriarch, don't be greedy for me. Hurry up and let me drink a cup. Oh right, and these people on the pillars are all my friends. Put them down and we can all drink together. Sharing is the happiest. As long as there is wine to drink, no matter how big the misunderstanding is, it can be resolved. Ha ha ha, those who can drink together are good friends for life. The patriarch was completely dumbfounded. Lin Gu suddenly jumped up and said to Su Yun, "Brother, the fire under your feet has been extinguished. Sister Mayen's fire has also been extinguished. Everyone's fire has been extinguished." Zhuo Yeming said with his mouth wide open. Who did this? Who else could it be? These raging flames must have been extinguished by the terrifying domineering aura just now. Su Yun's heart was only filled with admiration. The Wine Sword Immortal, Shen Yuanji, was indeed worthy of his reputation. Today, they were able to escape this calamity. Only a master of the Grandmaster realm could have done it. He was definitely able to destroy an entire group by himself. At this time, Feng Ying and the other 4 people rushed over. Under Feng Ying's orders, the 4 people immediately ran to Su Yun's iron pillar and began to untie Su Yun. After Su Yun was untied, he immediately went to untie Zhuo Meiyan. The group of people quickly untied themselves. It felt so good to be free again. Without hesitation, Su Yun quickly ran to the cross where Yuan Bo was. Seeing the 2 daggers stabbed into Yuan Bo's body, Su Yun's heart felt like it was being cut by a knife. He immediately untied Yuan Bo. But Yuan Bo shook his head. "Brother Yun, don't be like this. I'm already a sinner. If I continue to ignore the gods, the Paka clan will suffer retribution. Yuan Bo, I've tolerated you for a long time. Don't talk about the gods anymore. If your Paka clan really had the protection of the gods, you wouldn't have been controlled by the Viper expedition for so long." Su Yun disregarded everything and untied Yuan Bo. "I'm telling you, even if there is a god, if he wants my brother's life, he'll have to go through me first." Yuan Bo, an iron-blooded man who had never cried before, actually shed tears. He almost bit his lips until they broke. At this time, Zhuo Yeming, who was untied, immediately rushed to the patriarch of the Paka clan. "Old bastard. F***ck your grandfather. How dare you burn my sister? I'll skin you alive now." "Stop." Zhuo Meiyan shouted at Zhuo Yeming, stopping him in his tracks. Zhuo Yeming was anxious. "Sister, this guy wanted to burn you to death. If I don't skin him alive, how can I face my parents in the future? I promise them that I'll always take good care of you." Zhuo Meiyan pulled her brother aside. "You don't have to do it this time. I'll deal with this guy. He wanted to roast my man to death. If anyone wants to kill him, I'll be the one doing it." Everyone sucked in a breath of cold air. Once a woman's aura was released, it would always be stronger than a man's aura. Zhuo Yeming immediately stopped arguing with his sister. No matter who it was, they were going to send this old bastard to hell for biting the hand that fed him. If Feng Ying hadn't arrived in time and brought a master in the Grandmaster realm, then all of them would have been annihilated in this damned world of ice and snow. Mei Yen, don't mess around. Su Yun rescued Yuan Bo and said lightly, hurry up and find me medicine and gauze to stop the bleeding. Yuan Bo has lost too much blood. If we don't deal with it in time, he'll die. Lin Ge, you guys don't just stand there. Hurry up and help me. Chapter 570. Xian Yuanji grinned and said in his heart, what an affectionate and righteous brat. The moment he escaped from danger, the first thing he thought of was not revenge, nor was he repaying kindness. Instead, he thought of saving his brother's life, and it was the life of a brother who almost killed him. In this day and age, it was really hard to find such a loyal and righteous young man. Ha ha ha, who would have thought that his sworn brother could take such a rare boy as his godson? He really envied him. The more Xian Yuanji thought about it, the more envious he felt. He couldn't help but shake his head, lamenting that the world was unfair. Why didn't he get such a good boy? Uncle Xian Yuan, I'm sorry. Feng Ying explained, they don't know anything, please don't take offense. When we get back, I'll definitely educate them well. That, you first. There isn't even a seat here. Feng Ying doesn't know what to do. These guys are really too much. Why don't they hurry up and express their gratitude to their savior? Xian Yuanji grinned and waved his hand casually. Don't be so restrained, I just want a drink. Haha, you think I'm here just to help you save these boys? I'm here to ask for wine, and to do what you told me. Besides, you didn't ask for it, it was my short-lived brother who asked me. Ha ha ha, he left you my contact information, I'm already very happy. Back then, the 8 of us had a falling out, our relationship is very delicate. He remembered me, it's my honor. Although Su Yun had been bandaging Yuan Bo the entire time, his ears heard Xian Yuanji's words. Seeing that Yuan Bo's wound was also bandaged, he strode in front of Xian Yuanji and bowed deeply. Wine Sword Immortal Senior has done Su Yun a favor. Su Yun has no way to repay it. Su Yun, in the future, if Senior has any orders, whether Su Yun can do it or not, Su Yun will do his best to do it. If it wasn't for Senior, we might have died today. Please accept Su Yun's bow. While speaking, Su Yun was about to kneel down and thank him. Xian Yuanji reached out and stopped Su Yun. I say, you brat, you want me to be jealous of my brother? I'm already very jealous that he has such a loyal godson like you, and now you're so good at talking. Io, why didn't you become my godson back then? Senior. Su Yun said. Don't call me senior. Xian Yuanji interrupted Su Yun, just call me uncle. Let me tell you, your godfather and I are sworn brothers. We've been through life and death together. He's the oldest, and I'm the youngest. If he's your godfather, then I'm your uncle. He didn't expect Xian Yuanji to be so lively. Su Yun could only smile and call him Uncle Xian. Ha 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 ha. Good boy. Xian Yuanji patted Su Yun's shoulder, chuckled, and continued, where is their wine? I've asked the patriarch several times, but he didn't send anyone to get it. I really can't wait any longer. I'll go get the wine for Uncle Xian Yuan. Su Yun immediately does as he says and turns around to look for wine. After all, it was Wine Sword Immortal who saved their lives. Now that they want to drink, if he can't even bring out a bottle of wine, wouldn't that be too ungrateful? Lin Ge, Wu Yuandong, and the others were very surprised. Su Yun's social skills were really good. In just a minute, he had become intimate with the Wine Sword Immortal. They really couldn't do it, they were more or less afraid. After all, the Wine Sword Immortal was a master. Lin Ge was a bit better. After all, his master, the evil god, was also a master. As for the others, it was their first time meeting a master. It would be a lie to say that they weren't nervous. Uncle Xian Yuan, I'm Su Yun's girlfriend. Should I call you that too? Zhuo Mei Yen walked over leisurely. She looked very ladylike, She didn't have the temperament of a tomboy at all. Xian Yuanji exclaimed, "What a beautiful girl. Ha ha ha, Su Yun is so lucky. Mayen, don't make trouble." Feng Ying immediately stepped forward and glared at her. Then she explained to Xian Yuanji, "Uncle Xian Yuan, it's not wrong for her to call you uncle. Her name is Zhua Meiyan. That's her brother, Zhua Yeming, is Zhang Taisui's disciple." Xian Yuanji's expression became more serious. He looked at the two seriously and nodded. Yes, I've heard a little about them. Oh no, I'm getting more and more jealous of my brother. God is too unfair. His disciple is also a child. Although he hasn't married in his life, he has both a child and a daughter. And they're a perfect match. Oh my, I'm so jealous. Su Yun found the old wine of the Paka clan and gave it to Xian Yuanji with both hands. "Uncle Xian Yuan, the alcohol content of this wine is very high." Haha. "I like this wine." Xian Yuanji didn't hesitate. He took it and drank a few mouthfuls. Finally, he let out a burp that reeked of alcohol. Then he patted his chest and said comfortably, "Good, so good." Yuan Bo stood up and said to Su Yun and the others, "I know the clan leader has made a big mistake. The people of the Paka clan have also made a big mistake. Brother Yun, but I still hope you can forgive them. They really didn't mean it. They were really scared. I beg you, forgive them." "Yuan Bo, it's meaningless for you to say this now." Zhua Meiyan said, "Do you know what your clan leader was going to do? He was going to barbecue us and eat us directly. That's too much." Feng Ying had goosebumps all over her body. She said to Zhua Meiyan, "I told you they were cannibals, and you said it was okay." "Phew, fortunately, I contacted Uncle Xian Yuan immediately. Otherwise, I really wouldn't be able to see you again. I was scared to death. That was too dangerous." Everyone seemed to have the same idea as Zhua Meiyan. After all, it was Yuan Bo's clan leader and people who repaid kindness with enmity first. They helped them and were almost killed by them. This was a bit unreasonable. If there was no explanation, no one would be able to convince the crowd. But in the end, everyone gave the decision to Su Yun. After all, Su Yun was the organizer of this matter. He was Yuan Bo's only brother outside the clan. After this matter, he put his heart and soul into it, but in exchange, he almost died. Obviously, it was a very unpleasant experience. At this time, Yuan Bo and the clan leader were in front of Su Yun and the others. The clan leader had already given up. He was waiting for Su Yun to sentence him to death. He regretted it. If he had known this would happen, he wouldn't have done it. The clan leader wasn't afraid of his own death. He just didn't want all his people to be buried with him. That way, the Paka clan would really be wiped out. "I know you must want to kill me now," the clan leader said indifferently. "I also know that if I make any request now, you will feel especially disgusted and won't agree to it. But I still want to say, because you are Yuan Bo's brother, give Yuan Bo and my people a way out. I only hope that the Paka clan can survive. This way, I can die with the face to face my ancestors." Without waiting for Su Yun and the others to answer, the clan leader took off a necklace from his neck and put it on Yuan Bo. "From today onwards, Yuan Bo, you are the new clan leader of the Paka clan." As long as the Pakal clansmen were still conscious, they solemnly bowed to Yuan Bo. Although they knew that they were likely to face death and extinction, they still followed the etiquette of the Pakal clan and bowed to Yuan Bo with the utmost respect. Yuan Bo didn't know what to do. He didn't know what the point of doing this was because he didn't have the confidence that Su Yun would agree to the clan leader's request. "Humph, when you wanted to burn us, you didn't agree to any of our requests," Wang Zhe said coldly. To be honest, they really couldn't take this lying down. The Zhang brothers had the same opinion as Wang Zhe. "The skin on my back was almost burned off, and now you're begging for mercy? Have you forgotten what our brother Yun said? If you dare to burn us, we will exterminate your clan." "All of you shut up," Su Yun said indifferently. The few of them immediately shut their mouths. Yuan Bo laughed bitterly. Now that he was the clan leader, he looked at Su Yun and said slowly, "Brother Yun, now I'm not asking you as a brother. As the clan leader of the Paka clan, I'm asking you to forgive the mistakes my people have made. All the mistakes were caused by me, and I'm willing to bear everything for my people." With that, Yuan Bo knelt heavily in front of Su Yun. "Brother Yun, now I'm your sworn brother, Yuan Bo. I'm really grateful for this. If it weren't for you, I, Yuan Bo, would have lived in self-blame for the rest of my life. Thank you for helping me redeem all the sins in my heart." "Get up." Su Yun thought, how can a clan leader kneel just like that? What did you bear? Did I say I was going to do anything to your clan? Are you crazy? Why are you being so polite with me? Get up. Yuan Bo was stunned. The clan leader was also stunned. The people behind Su Yun were also stunned. The entire Paka clan was stunned. What did Su Yun mean? Did he forgive them? Tears instantly streamed down the clan leader's face. He never thought that Su Yun would repay evil with kindness. He had done something so hurtful to them, but he could still smile and bury the hatchet. Behind Yuan Bo, the clan leader also knelt in front of Su Yun. He was ashamed to face his benefactor. All the Paka clan members also understood what had happened. They all knelt down with Yuan Bo and the clan leader. Everyone thanked Su Yun with their purest gratitude for his generosity. Xian Yuanji couldn't help but applaud in his heart. This kid was so magnanimous. He would definitely become someone great in the future. Even the 8 of them didn't have this kind of magnanimity. What a talent, what a talent. Let alone the Paka clan members, even Zhuo Meiyan and the others were shocked by Su Yun's aura. They didn't think that using forgiveness to punish the wrongdoers would make them understand how big of a mistake they had made. When Su Yun said he was going to exterminate the Paka clan, it was completely out of anger. At the time, the fire under Zhuo Meiyan's body had already started burning, so he lost his mind. Now that everyone was safe, he didn't have anything to be angry about. He understood the Paka clan leader's worries. If it were him, facing something he wanted to protect, he would also do something without thinking. What's more, Yuan Bo was now the clan leader of the Paka clan. How could he possibly exterminate his brother's clan? Yuan Bo was only grateful to Su Yun. He knew that a word of thanks couldn't express his gratitude to Su Yun. Brother Yun, from today onwards, as long as you say the word, I, Yuan Bo, will do anything for you. From today onwards, you are our Paka clan's god. Su Yun, Su Yun, Su Yun. A loud call came from the sky above the Paka clan. Chapter 571. Su Yun's magnanimity was admirable. He forgave the Pakal people for what they had done to him. Not only did he win over the hearts of the Pakal people, but he also made Lin Ge, Wu Yuandong and the others admire him even more. Zhuo Meiyan's face was full of pride, as if to say, "See? This is the magnanimity of a man. A general's magnanimity can run a horse. A prime minister's magnanimity can row a boat." Shen Yuanji smiled faintly. An old senior once gave me this sentence, but I was too lazy to do anything. In the end, I couldn't understand the profound meaning behind it. Today, I finally understand. It's not suitable for me, so I'll give it to you. Ha ha ha, boy, don't blame me for not being able to give you a high-end gift. As expected of the Wine Sword Immortal, Su Yun was able to see through him. This middle-aged man who seemed to be sloppy, lazy, and fond of wine, had a heart that was as clear as a mirror. He was able to see through everything. Perhaps his current state was his attitude towards life, his understanding of it. It wasn't that he was a lazy, half-grown old man. If he, Shen Yuanji, wanted it, there would be a lot of bosses who would give him a lot of money. Furthermore, they would give him good wine and meat every year. He didn't even need to do anything. Just his name alone would be enough to shock many opponents. But he still chose to wander the world, with the earth as his bed and the sky as his blanket. Perhaps only this kind of life could let him truly experience his own survival. Everyone had their own view of the world. Since Shen Yuanji was called the Wine Sword Immortal, it meant that not only was he a good drinker, his sword skills were superb, and his personal life was as free and unrestrained as an immortal. Uncle Xian Yuanji. Zhua Meiyan couldn't help but ask curiously, since you're called the Wine Sword Immortal, where's your sword? Yunqing's sword can cut through iron like mud. Why don't you show it to us? I'd like to show it off too. Xian Yuanji laughed dryly. It's a pity that I, the Wine Sword Immortal, no longer have a sword. TSK, 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 little girl, you should have reminded me earlier. I might as well just call myself the Wine Immortal from now on. Now that I've lost my sword, how can I still call myself the Wine Sword Immortal? Ha ha ha. Forget it, forget it. Would the Wine Sword Immortal lose his precious sword, the Azure Cloud Sword? Who would believe that? Zhua Meiyan wasn't a child in kindergarten. Of course, she wouldn't be so easily fooled. Oh, Uncle Shenyuan, you're too stingy. I just said that I wanted to take a look. I didn't ask you to give it to me as a gift. You can't even bear to let people look at you. Su Yun tugged at Zhua Meiyan's sleeve. The cloudy green sword is a priceless treasure. It's also the most important thing to Uncle Shenyuan. You can't just look at it as you please. Don't give Uncle Shenyuan any more trouble. After hearing that, everyone else felt the same way as Zhua Meiyan. They were all disappointed. After all, that was the cloudy green sword. Anyone who said that they didn't want to see it was just pretending to be calm. Su Yun felt the same way. He also wanted to take a selfie with the cloudy green sword. But he couldn't force him to do it. Xian Yuanji shook his head helplessly. Little girl, it's not that Uncle Shenyuan is stingy. My sword really was stolen. But I can't do anything about it. I can only watch as my precious son was taken away. I want to see my cloudy green sword even more than you guys. Ha ha ha, life is unpredictable. The cloudy green sword was stolen. The Wine Sword Immortal's precious son's peerless weapon was stolen? This news was like a super heavy bomb. Su Yun really couldn't believe it. If the cloudy green sword was his, he would definitely protect it with his life. Then this cloudy green sword must be half a life for its owner. Uncle Shenyuan, how is that possible? Su Yun widened his eyes and said, Who has the ability to steal the cloudy green sword from your hands? Kid, since you asked, I'll give you another sentence. Ha ha ha, of course, you've heard this before. But I'll tell you today. I guarantee that you'll understand it differently. Xian Yuanji smiled and swept away the haze of losing his treasure. There's always someone better than you. In this world, there's always someone stronger than you. Don't ever think that you're infallible just because you've achieved a little. Ha ha, I can see that your strength has already reached the realm of a super expert. To be precise, you've even broken through 3 or 4 levels. Su Yun didn't deny it, because in front of a master, he couldn't hide anything. Xian Yuanji continued, If you think that you're a supermaster, and your strength is not bad among the supermasters, and there are so many people in this world who can't break through this realm in their lifetime, then you're in trouble. Don't underestimate this world. The cries of many first-rate experts in the underground world reverberated in all directions, making people familiar with them. But when have you ever heard of a master of the earth profound realm, or even a master of the sky profound realm? Don't tell me that just because there's no movement, they don't exist? Ha 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 ha. Listening to a gentleman's words is better than reading books for 10 years. For so many years, everyone present, including Su Yun, thought that supermasters were already rare, and masters of the sky profound realm were definitely rare. But after listening to Xian Yuanji's words, they began to realize their insignificance. It turned out that they were really nothing. This world was so big, how could there be no master of the earth profound realm or sky profound realm? Su Yun helplessly shook his head, lamenting that he had been a frog at the bottom of the well for so many years. It was really ridiculous. Kid, your road is still very long. Xian Yuanji lightly said, Listen to Uncle, don't underestimate anyone around you. Small hidden in the forest, big hidden in the city. When you really step into this world, you'll realize that the things you saw before were so shallow. Ha ha, maybe a lot of people think that your godfather is a master of the sky profound realm. Haha, in fact, that's not the case. Everyone's ears perked up. Could it be that there's going to be big news? At least I can be sure that if you want to transfer power to someone, a master of the Sky Profound Realm can't do it. Don't be deceived by his so-called martial arts that can be passed down. Xian Yuanji finished speaking and glanced at Zhua Meiyan. If he hadn't reached the Earth Profound Realm, he wouldn't have passed down his martial arts to you, and you wouldn't have directly passed down the inheritance to become a supermaster. Uncle Xian Yuan, could it be that you were also deceived by the illusion? Su Yun. Xian Yuanji was startled, and then looked at Zhua Meiyan in surprise. My first impression of your cultivation is that you're a supermaster, but why haven't you broken through the most crucial point? Zhua Meiyan shook her head. I don't know either, but this seems to be an unbreakable bottleneck. I've tried many ways, but my state of mind still can't break through the boundary point. Although I can feel that my strength has long surpassed the level of the 9th stage, my state of mind still can't break through. If your state of mind can't break through, then you'll never be able to reach the level of a true supermaster. Xian Yuanji said, maybe I can help you with a lot of other things, but I really can't help you with this. Girl, this requires you to concentrate on your own research to break through. I'll give you a word of advice. Before your state of mind breaks through, don't continue to cultivate. Because that's something your state of mind can't bear. Your cultivation is all obtained through inheritance, so your progress will be much faster than others. Don't worry about your future strength not being able to keep up, but first worry about your state of mind. Zhua Meiyan nodded seriously. She believed that Xian Yuanji wouldn't spout nonsense. Phew, I've tasted the fine wine here, and I've done what I should do. Xian Yuanji said lightly, I won't disturb you young people. Feng girl, come here before I leave, I have something to say to you. Feng Ying immediately walked to Xian Yuanji's side. Xian Yuanji whispered a few words into her ear. Before Feng Ying could react, his figure flashed and disappeared from everyone's sight. Su Yun's gaze followed very closely. He could only see Xian Yuanji's afterimage disappearing into the vast expanse of snow and ice. This speed was too terrifying. After all, the Wine Sword Immortal was famous for his speed. Although he was called Sword Immortal, his Qinggong was much better than his swordsmanship. Sister Feng Ying, what did Uncle Xian Yuanji say to you? Zhua Meiyan couldn't help but ask curiously. Feng Ying shook her head helplessly, shrugged and said, Uncle Xian Yuanji said that the time isn't right, so he can't say. When the time is right, I'll tell you. What time? Zhua Meiyan was surprised. Sister Feng Ying, what are you talking about? I don't understand. What time isn't right? I don't know either. Feng Ying still had a helpless expression, because I don't understand either, but Uncle Xian Yuanji said that when the time is right, I'll naturally understand, and then he'll tell you. Oh my God. Zhua Meiyan patted her forehead. You're all a bunch of old immortals. Su Yun had a high opinion of Xian Yuanji. Uncle Xian Yuanji is definitely not an ordinary person. If you compare him with Master Zhang, I even feel that Tai Sui's awareness was not as high as his when he was at his age. If everyone has the same mindset as the Wine Sword Immortal, there will be no disputes and intrigues in this world. Wu Yuandong said lightly, I really can't believe that this person is the Wine Sword Immortal who almost destroyed the entire Three Lotus Association by himself. He's not as fierce as the president, and the old president said. It seems that legends are always false. That's not necessarily true. Su Yun said, some people's transformation may happen in a split second. Maybe the Wine Sword Immortal used to be really fierce, but suddenly he turned into an old urchin. It doesn't matter if he's an old urchin or fierce. I just want to know who has the ability to snatch the Yunqing sword from the hands of this fierce old urchin. Lin Gu gasped and shook his head. This world is too scary. Even the Wine Sword Immortal, a master of the Grandmaster realm, can make mistakes. Aren't we living in danger every day? Zhua Meiyan patted Lin Ji's shoulder. Do you think you're living at the top of the food chain? It's okay, Brother Lin, if you're scared, you can follow me. I'll introduce you to a beautiful girlfriend, and you'll be safe when you leave the underground world. Chapter 572. Everything was over. Yuan Bo had saved his race as he wished, and he had even become the new patriarch after a blessing in disguise. As usual, Su Yun helped people to the very end. He taught the Pakel people how to use guns, from how to remove the safety on the trigger, how to change the magazine, how to install bullets, and how to maintain the gun. He explained everything clearly. Lin Gu didn't stay idle either. Because the evil god was proficient in Chimanduanjia, he knew a thing or two about it. He led the Paka clan to set up a defense system to protect their home. According to the evolution, at the entrance of the Paka clan's tribe, they used the existing cedar trees to set up a confusing formation that would attract chaos. The Yin and Yang 2 escapes were divided into smooth and reverse. 1 Qi and 3 Yuan people were unpredictable. 5 days came to exchange for 1 Yuan. Connecting Qi and transcending spirit was the standard. Recognizing the 9 palaces were divided into 9 stars. The 8 gates also followed the 9 palaces. The 9 palaces meeting the armor was the value talisman. The 8 gates were naturally distinct. Lin Gu was quite capable now. With the maze formation he set up, if one didn't follow the path he pointed out, no one would be able to invade. Even Su Yun and Wu Yuandong, the 2 strongest people, were confused by the maze formation. It seemed that Chimanduanjia wasn't a simple thing. Of course, this wasn't something that could be done forever just by memorizing one path. With the changes in the sun, moon, and stars, the maze formation needed to be passed through at different times. There were a total of 12 paths. Yuanbo and his clansmen carefully memorized them. This could prevent the maze formation from being broken. Therefore, if they wanted to break the formation and enter the Paka clan's tribe, they would need to burn down a large area of the cedar forest. This would definitely cause a forest fire. At that time, even if they had evil intentions, they wouldn't be able to enter the fire. Not only would they not get what they wanted, they would also attract the forest fire. If the Paka clan's underground treasure was discovered by the country, it would be even more impossible for those with evil intentions to get it. Therefore, no one would be stupid enough to set fire to the forest. This way, they could completely ensure the safety of the Paka clan. Although they didn't know what would happen in the future, at least for now, Su Yun and the others had done their best to help the Paka clan rebuild their home. For Su Yun to be able to do this, it could be said that he had a clear conscience. All good things must come to an end. Everything had come to an end. Su Yun was about to lead his team and leave. Looking at their departing figures, Yuan Bo led all his clansmen to kneel in the snow and didn't get up for a long time. Because each and every one of them knew very well that those people were the ones who had given them a new life. After Su Yun and the others left, Yuan Bo arranged for people to burn all the things brought by the Viper expedition other than the weapons. They didn't want to keep this humiliation in their memories. The fire burned away their sins and humiliation. The members of the Paka clan were like phoenixes that had been reborn from the flames, starting a new life. Su Yun and the others finally found the spot where they had parked their car. However, the car was almost buried in the snow. This time, it took a lot of effort to dig the car up. The wheels of the car were almost frozen to the ground. However, everyone was in a good mood and worked in full swing. It didn't take long for them to finish their work. However, the car had been frozen for too long. It was quite difficult to start the car. They couldn't start the car again and again, which made everyone feel helpless. I told you that the domestic car you rented wouldn't work. Zhuo Meiyan didn't know whether to laugh or cry. She said, "Spend a little more money and get a few imported off-road cars. They'll definitely be better than these 3 lousy cars. Don't look down on domestic cars. In this case, even if they were imported, they would still be useless." Su Yun said, "I'm already prepared. If the car is useless, then I don't want it. That way, I'll lose less money on the deposit." Just as everyone was about to give up, Wu Yuandong finally started the first car. Vroom vroom vroom. The sound of the engine rang out, and everyone was overjoyed. It wasn't because they were distressed about the deposit money on the 3 cars, but because there was still a long way to go before they reached the city of Xing and Mountain. None of them wanted to walk back. After all, not everyone had the same mentality as the Wine Sword Immortal. Since the first car could start, the other 2 cars didn't hesitate. It seemed that these things also had their moments of competition. They roared and started the engine. After half an hour of heating, everyone got on the car and headed south directly to Xing and Mountain. Ever since they arrived at this place, they hadn't had a good rest or a hot bath for a few days. Therefore, Su Yun decided to stay in the city of Xing and Mountain for the night and set off for Yanjing the next morning. After asking around, they found out that they had checked into the biggest hotel in Xing and Mountain. Since it was not time for lunch yet, everyone went back to their rooms to take a shower, and then fell asleep comfortably on the soft beds. The heating in the room was very sufficient. These guys who had stayed in the sub-zero temperature for 2 or 3 days slept soundly. When Su Yun woke up, it was already past 6 o'clock in the evening. He opened the curtain and looked outside. The sky was completely dark, and the streets of the city were brightly lit. After everyone got up one after another, they ordered a table full of northeastern specialties and ate to their heart's content. It should be known that the food they ate these days was particularly unpleasant. This kind of messy stew tasted better. There was also pickled fish with pickled cabbage, duck blood curd. Everyone ate to their heart's content. To be honest, I'm really sorry that I let you escape with me this time. Su Yun said lightly, Sister Feng Ying, it's all thanks to you that we can escape this time. I suggest that everyone toast to you together. As he said that, Su Yun stood up, and the others also stood up with wine glasses. After all, Feng Ying had seen the world with Zhang Taisui. She stood up happily and said, Don't be offended by me. I'll drink, but all of you sit down. It doesn't count who drinks while standing. While toasting, Feng Ying began to solve everyone's confusion. After all, the wine sword immortal was not an ordinary person. They really wanted to know how Feng Ying found him. Feng Ying didn't mean to hide it from everyone. Before Zhang Taisui left, he asked the divine mathematician Gu Zueran to calculate for him. He said that after he left, the people he wanted to protect would be in the northernmost part of Huaxia. At that time, Zhang Taisui didn't say anything. Instead, he gave me an envelope and asked me to open it when I knew that you all went to the northernmost part of Huaxia. At that time, I didn't know what it meant. But that day, when Mei Yan called me and told me that you were coming to this place, I thought of it. After drinking a mouthful of water, Feng Ying continued, When I returned to Ji Bei, I found the envelope. When I opened it, I saw a contact number. After I called it, I knew that this number was for contacting the wine sword immortal, Uncle Shenyuan. At that time, after I explained everything to him, he asked me to wait for him in Ji Bei. Then he found me and asked me to bring the 4 of them to this place. Haha, until now, I still can't believe that you all almost died in that place. And after you saved them, they wanted to bite the hand that feeds them. It's all in the past. Su Yun said faintly, Sister Feng Ying, I'll toast you again. Feng Ying smiled and said, What? Are you trying to get me drunk? Sister Feng Ying has a good tolerance. How could she get drunk? Zhuo Meiyan also laughed. Come on, I'll drink with you too. Is that okay? The pleasant dinner finally ended with everyone's laughter. In order to leave a good memory for this trip to the northeast, Zhuo Meiyan suggested that everyone go to see the ice sculptures. There was a famous ice sculpture square here. At night, the ice sculptures were even more dazzling when paired with the lights. Su Yun also agreed to Zhuo Meiyan's request without hesitation. Everyone went to the ice sculpture square for a little tour. After leaving the ice sculpture square, no one knew who took the lead to pick up Snowball. In the end, everyone ended the day with an extremely chaotic snowball fight. When everyone returned to the hotel, they were so tired that they were panting. They rushed to their rooms to rest. Su Yun, come here. I have something to tell you. Feng Ying stopped Su Yun just as he was about to enter the room. Is there anything else now? I want to hear it too. Zhuo Meiyan ran up with a smile. She didn't look like the President Zhuo of Sky Entertainment Group anymore. She was just a girl who had gone crazy. Zhuo Meiyan also squeezed her for a long time. In the past, she used to act like this every day because her status was different. But now, there were no outsiders. Why should she act like this? Feng Ying didn't go along with Zhua Meiyan this time. I have something to say to Su Yun alone. Meiyan, leave us alone. No way. What other secrets do you two have? Zhua Meiyan was obviously unhappy. I'm just listening. I'm not talking. What's wrong with that? Please. Sister Feng Ying. If I can tell you, I won't leave you alone. Feng Ying said, It's nothing. It's just a small matter. Be good. I'm begging you. Go back to your room. Zhua Meiyan flicked her hair. If you don't want me to listen, then I won't listen. Fine. You guys talk. I'm going to sleep. I'm so sleepy. Good night. Su Yun. What good night? Come to my room and say hi to me alone. Then we can talk about good night. Zhua Meiyan left without looking back. Feng Ying closed the door and invited Su Yun to sit down in the room. She poured a cup of hot water for Su Yun to warm up. The temperature outside at night in Xing, Anling was really low. Sister Feng Ying, are you looking for me to talk about what Uncle Xianyuan said to you before he left? Su Yun raised his head and asked, holding the cup of hot water. Why did he ask? Maybe it was a simple intuition. Su Yun's intuition told him that Feng Ying wanted to talk to him about this. He couldn't tell why. There was no reason. What? Feng Ying's eyes widened. I didn't say anything. How did you know? Could it be that you heard everything Uncle Xianyuan said to me? Su Yun said innocently, I was just guessing. He spoke so softly. How could I hear him? But then again, I'm really curious about what he said to you. If I'm not wrong, it must be about Zhua Meiyan. When she asked you, your reaction to her was very unnatural. Chapter 573. Su Yun was confused by Feng Ying's words. Big sis Feng Ying, just tell me what you want to say. When I said it was about Zhua Meiyan, I was just guessing. I just thought that since Uncle Xianyuan could see that Zhua Meiyan's strength didn't match her state of mind, he might know the reason or the solution. But now that I think about it, if he really did know the reason or the solution, he could have just told Zhua Meiyan. It's because he knows the reason and the solution that he can't talk about it, so he threw this awkward topic to me. Feng Ying shook her head helplessly. How was she supposed to talk about it? Although she was already 30 years old, she had been doing her best for Sky Entertainment all these years. She had never thought about her personal feelings. Moreover, after being with Zhang Taisui and Zhua Meiyan for a long time, Feng Ying's strong aura was not something that could be conquered by any man. Therefore, although she was at the age of a mature woman, she was still unfamiliar with some things between men and women. What Xian Yuanji had told her before he left was about the matters between men and women, so she didn't know what to say. But this matter was related to Zhua Meiyan, so after thinking it over, she decided to tell Zhua Meiyan about it. But in front of Zhua Meiyan, she couldn't bring herself to say it. In the end, she could only shift her target to Su Yun. In any case, Su Yun was probably the only one who could do this, so she might as well tell Su Yun everything. Even if she told Zhua Meiyan would still ask her to find Su Yun. In the end, this man was her real target. The more Su Yun listened, the more confused he became. How did it become such an awkward topic? Because of this, Xian Yuanji didn't say it in front of everyone. Instead, he told it to Feng Ying, who he thought was the most mature. But he didn't know that Feng Ying could be considered a girl. What was going on? Su Yun tried again. Big sis Feng Ying, if you really can't bring yourself to say it, then you can send me a text. Wouldn't that be better? Right. Why didn't I think of that? Feng Ying was suddenly enlightened. She agreed with Su Yun's suggestion. She immediately took out her mobile phone and began to write a text message. Su Yun shook his head helplessly and sat aside, waiting quietly. Feng Ying did not know how to express herself when she sent the message. There were a few times when the words she typed were deleted by her. After repeating this for 6 or 7 times, Su Yun couldn't wait any longer. Before Feng Ying could delete the words she typed, he snatched the phone from her hand. At first, Feng Ying wanted to snatch it back, but after thinking about it, she decided to give up. In any case, it didn't matter if she said it earlier or later. No matter what, this was the only truth. After Su Yun snatched the phone, he was really shocked by the words on the phone. After a long time, Su Yun slowly raised his head. Big sis Fong Ying. Are you kidding me? Or was Uncle Shen Yuan joking? How could this be? This was too absurd and illogical. How could Zhua Meiyan's mental state breakthrough have anything to do with this? Oh my God. I suspect that Uncle Shen Yuan is deliberately messing with her, right? If Uncle Shen Yuan was deliberately messing with her, why did he tell me? Fong Ying asked back. This has nothing to do with me. First of all, I'm not the one he needs. Second of all, I'm not a man. Whether it's the person being helped or the person helping, it has nothing to do with me. Why would he tell me? Isn't it because he thinks that I'm older than you guys? I don't care. I've told you everything I need to tell you. You know it now. It's up to you to believe it or not. I can't help Mei Yan with this. I've already passed on the message. You'll have to figure it out yourself. Su Yun's face was filled with an awkward smile. Sis, you're really my sister. How can you just throw such a troublesome thing to me? How am I supposed to tell her? Do you still need to tell her? Fong Ying shook her head helplessly. Silly child, why can't you be enlightened? If you do this, you don't have to tell her at all. Let nature take its course and solve this problem. If you tell her first and then solve it, it'll be awkward. Besides, it's not like Mei Yan hates you. It might be difficult for others to do this, but if you, Su Yun, do it, it'll be a piece of cake. No matter who did it, this was not a small matter. Su Yun's head was about to explode. What the hell was this? Fong Ying shrugged. You're the only solution. If even you can't solve it, then I really can't do anything. I believe you. You might as well not believe me. Su Yun shook his head with a wry smile. Let me think about it. This is too sudden. What's there to think about? How about I help you guys create an atmosphere so that you guys will unknowingly... Fong Ying said tentatively, that's all I can help you with. Su Yun, if you can't even do this, then I'll have some doubts. Su Yun paused. What do you mean? I wonder if you're a man. Fong Ying touched her chin seriously. Otherwise, you have some kind of illness that men can't talk about. Otherwise, why are you so hesitant about dealing with Zhua Meiyan? Brother, you don't have that kind of illness, do you? Su Yun's eyes were full of doubts. Fong Ying, what are you trying to say? Fong Ying took a deep breath and gathered her courage. She said, do you have a... Stop. Su Yun stood up on the spot and interrupted Fong Ying's words. She did not let the last word come out. Absolutely not. Fong Ying, you're thinking too much. I just don't know how to face Zhua Meiyan. I definitely don't have that kind of illness. I'm healthy, and there's no problem at all. Fong Ying spread her hands and said, that's just what you said. Besides, you haven't really done it with Mei Yan. How do you know you don't have it? Fong Ying suddenly realized. Oh, so you're no longer a virgin. When she saw Su Yun, the nervousness on her face disappeared. I was wondering why I felt that there was someone at the door. How come it's you? Sister Fong Ying finished talking to you? Come on, come in and tell me. Zhua Meiyan then dragged Su Yun into the room. I'm not gossiping. I'm just a little curious and worried about Sister Fong Ying. Did she tell you what Uncle Shen Yuan told her? Damn, this girl is really good at guessing. She guessed it right away. No. Su Yun denied it naturally. She just told me not to take you to do such dangerous things in the future. If something happened to both of us, she would feel sorry for Zhang Taisui. She didn't say anything else. Zhua Meiyan was stunned. She really didn't say anything? She didn't. Su Yun pretended to be calm. What else could she say? She just kept repeating this. Lie, continue to lie. Zhua Meiyan said, Su Yun, you don't really think that I believe what you said, do you? Humph, If Sister Feng Ying wanted to educate you, she would have called me too. She wouldn't have pushed me away. After all, we're alone now. We're not in the company. She doesn't need to give me the so-called CEO face. Both of us are involved in this trouble. Why did she only educate you? Su Yun was really stunned. Because I'm the mastermind. You just didn't have a choice. I dragged you down. Chapter 574. Go ahead, if Sister Feng Ying will tell you, then I won't have to hide it from you. If you can get the answer, then I won't be at a loss. Su Yun sighed. He walked over to Zhuo Meiyan's bed and sat down. Without hesitation, he lay back and stretched. He relaxed and said, "Comfortable." Zhuo Meiyan knew that since Su Yun said so, then he wasn't afraid of her going to ask Feng Ying. She knew better than anyone how tight Feng Ying's mouth was. This was also why she had control over all of Sky Entertainment's trade secrets. If she didn't want to talk about something, even if the Qing dynasty put torture in front of her, she wouldn't waver. Zhuo Meiyan knew this all too well. After opening the door, Zhuo Meiyan had no choice but to give up on the idea of asking Feng Ying. Everything was so clear, she knew that it would be a waste of time. Since there was no hope of getting any clues from Feng Ying, and Zhuo Meiyan's curiosity was getting more and more uncontrollable, she could only target Su Yun. Seeing Su Yun lying on the bed and stretching, Zhuo Meiyan didn't hold back and sat on Su Yun's body. Su Yun didn't even have time to react. By the time he wanted to resist, it was already too late. Zhuo Meiyan directly pressed him under her body, her hands clasping his wrists. She sat on his waist and said proudly, "Okay, if you don't want to talk, then I'll give it a try. I'll ask you one more time, are you going to talk or not? What can you do if I don't talk?" Su Yun wasn't afraid of a woman's threat. It wasn't like he was going to be forced to have sex with her. "Okay, then I'll take off your clothes one by one and throw you into the hallway." Zhuo Meiyan snorted. She was unwilling to admit defeat. She began to work on Su Yun. First, she unbuttoned Su Yun's collar. Then, she began to take off his clothes. This stance was a bit too fierce. Su Yun didn't think that she would actually play for real, and for a while, he really couldn't handle it. However, he was already under Zhuo Meiyan's body, and his hands would only touch places that he shouldn't touch. For a while, he really was at a disadvantage. Very quickly, Zhuo Meiyan had already taken the lead. She cleanly took down a city and completely stripped off Su Yun's clothes. At this time, Zhuo Meiyan still had no intention of stopping. Her target was Su Yun's belt. Su Yun saw that if he didn't resist now, he would lose his chastity. It would be too embarrassing if he lost to a woman in such a small matter. Just as Zhuo Meiyan was about to take down another city, Su Yun saw an opportunity and flipped over, pinning Zhuo Meiyan under his body. His upper body was bare. He snorted and said, "You're still too inexperienced to fight with me. Either you beg for mercy and admit defeat now, or I'll give you an eye for an eye and a tooth for a tooth. If you take off one of my clothes, I'll take off one of yours. Let's see who's more eye-catching in the corridor. You dare." Zhuo Meiyan would never admit defeat and beg for mercy. This is just the beginning. Don't be so smug just because you've achieved a little. Humph, try touching me. Men and women shouldn't touch each other. Don't you understand this? Su Yun couldn't be bothered to argue with her. Men and women shouldn't touch each other? Then you're the one who got married first. I'm just fighting back. As he spoke, Su Yun began to unbutton Zhuo Meiyan's clothes. To put it bluntly, he was just trying to scare her. After all, a girl was a girl. When she saw that Su Yun was really going to do it, she couldn't help but scream and struggle. This wasn't flirting, it was a contest. Zhuo Meiyan wouldn't let Su Yun get his way so easily. If this was flirting, she might just give in half-heartedly. The commotion was a little loud. At least the people next door heard it. Zhuo Yeming and Lin Gu were the first to walk out of the room. The two of them walked to the door of Zhuo Meiyan's room without knowing what was going on. Zhua Meiyan had forgotten to close the door when she opened it to look for Feng Ying, so all the noise in the room could be heard. The two people on the bed didn't even realize that they forgot to close the door. They were still fighting on the bed. When Zhua Yeming and Lin Ge saw this, they quickly covered their eyes and ran to the side. At this time, Wu Yuandong and Wang Zhe also came out. The two of them hurriedly stopped the curious people. "Oh my God, I didn't expect your sister to be so proactive. She even took off Brother Yun's clothes." Lin Ge sighed and added fuel to the fire. Zhua Yeming shrugged and widened his eyes. "Although my sister is quite proactive with my future brother-in-law, she doesn't have to go so far, right? Maybe my future brother-in-law can't control himself. After all, he's a man, and he just experienced a life and death separation. If something happens between the two of them, it should be considered consensual, right?" When Wang Zhe heard what the two of them said, his jaw dropped to the ground. "No way. You're saying that Brother Yun and Boss Zhua are doing that? Wait. That's impossible. If they want to do that, they must have closed the door, right?" Wu Yuandong was also shocked. This didn't make sense. Zhang Wanning touched his chin and said, "Maybe this is what Boss Zhua wants? The society now is so open. It seems that my current thinking is indeed too conservative. I thought that this kind of thing between men and women must be done in the middle of the night. It turns out that it's popular to be open now. Brother Yun is really manly. I suspect that he couldn't wait when he entered the door, so he forgot to close the door." Zhang Yongliang guessed. Several people were blindly thinking. Feng Ying also heard the sound and ran out. Seeing everyone guarding the door of the two people's room, she said in surprise, "What are you all doing here? What happened to them? What happened?" "Sister Feng Ying, my sister and my brother-in-law are doing it. They forgot to close the door." Zhua Yeming stuck out his tongue. "As her younger brother and brother-in-law, I'm embarrassed to remind them. Why don't you tell me?" "What?" Feng Ying really almost fainted. Although she had conveyed Xian Yuanji's words to Su Yun, he didn't have to be so anxious, right? "Su Yun, you stinking brat, so you were pretending just now. As soon as you came out, you couldn't wait anymore. At least close the door." This is related to the social atmosphere. In the room, Zhua Meiyan finally struggled to get up from under Su Yun. In order to avoid Su Yun's overwhelming attack, she could only temporarily escape from the room with her clothes disheveled. As she ran, she said fiercely, "Su Yun, wait for me. Let's see if I can strip you naked." Her voice fell. Zhua Meiyan also ran out of the room. Seeing the people in the corridor, she froze on the spot. Su Yun didn't hold back. He put on his slippers and walked out bare-chested. "Then let's see who takes off who first." Before the word naked came out, Su Yun was completely petrified. F***CK. Why is everyone here? Could it be that they heard him and Zhua Meiyan fooling around just now? This misunderstanding is really big. He didn't even have a chance to explain himself. Lin Ge saw Su Yun walk out bare-chested, and his belt was half open. He couldn't help but give him a thumbs up. Then he turned around and prepared to leave. Zhua Yeming also showed a surprised look at the two of them. He helplessly shook his head, and then prepared to leave with Lin Ge. Wu Yuandong and the others were also very embarrassed. They all pretended that nothing had happened. Wang Zhe even changed the topic. "Brother Yun, we're going to see what supper the hotel has. I'm a little hungry. Do you want to eat anything? I'll give you some back." Yes, Brother Yun, if you exercise too much at night, you need to replenish your strength." Zhang Yongliang touched the pot that didn't boil. Zhua Meiyan even wanted to die. She speechlessly patted her head and said to Su Yun, "Hurry up and explain to them. Tell them that we're not what they think. God, if this matter spreads out, I won't be able to live in the future." "Su Yun, how to explain it? You started it, so you should be the one to explain." "How can I explain it? I can't explain it clearly. You two really make me worry." Feng Ying sighed helplessly. She turned to Wu Yuandong and Wang Zhe and said, You guys go do what you're supposed to do. No matter what you hear tonight, don't come out to watch the fun. Yes. Hearing this, the few of them quickly retreated. Lin Gu and Zhua Yeming were smart enough to sneak away long ago. Su Yun lightly knocked the door frame with his head. Sister Feng Ying, things are really not what you think. They misunderstood. Don't misunderstand. Mei Yan and I were just fooling around. We didn't plan to do that. Don't explain it to me. Feng Ying said, I don't want to know whether you did it or not. I just want to tell you that if you want to do it, then don't be so high profile. If you do it in a low-key way, it won't be so embarrassing now. Sister Feng Ying, what are you talking about? How could I do it with him? We didn't do it at all. We were just joking. Zhua Meiyan also explained, if we really wanted to do it, I'm not stupid. How could I leave the door open and run out? How embarrassing. Su Yun nodded. That's right. If we wanted to do it, we definitely wouldn't run out. Feng Ying was flying in the fog. Stop. I don't care if you want to do it or not. Even if you're just fooling around, then go back to the room and close the door. If you really want to do it, then you won't startle those brats with your noise. Sister Feng Ying, what do you mean? Zhua Meiyan was confused. Feng Ying urged the two to go back to the room and said to Su Yun in a low voice, if you want to do it, then keep your voice down. Su Yun only had a bitter smile on his face. This time they really misunderstood. If he had known, he wouldn't have fooled around with Zhua Meiyan. Now, even if he wanted to do it with Zhua Meiyan, he really didn't have the mood. His mind was full of annoyance. Zhua Meiyan was completely defeated. She was too lazy to explain to Feng Ying. Anyway, it was no secret to Feng Ying that she wanted to marry Su Yun. You don't have to worry anymore. Zhua Meiyan said to Feng Ying lightly, Sister, you should rest well. Rest early. Tomorrow morning, we have to hurry. You too. Feng Ying said lightly. Then she said in a woman's tone, Meiyan, a girl should act like a girl. In this kind of thing, a girl shouldn't be too proactive. Let him take the initiative. Understand? Chapter 575. Sister Feng Ying, let me tell you first. Although I'm interested in Su Yun and have thoughts about him, it doesn't mean that I can't wait to do anything to him. Zhua Meiyan explained, I'm the CEO of Sky Entertainment Group. If this gets out, I won't be able to stay in the company anymore. Feng Ying didn't care about this. I'm not interfering with your private life. You can do whatever you want today. I'll support you. Really, Su Yun, go back to your room with Meiyan and rest. Don't stay out too late. We have to leave tomorrow morning. You know what I mean. What the hell do I know? Su Yun was really wronged. He really didn't plan to do anything with Zhua Meiyan today, but the current situation forced him to do something with Zhua Meiyan. Su Yun, if you dare to come into my room again today, I'll castrate you. Zhua Meiyan glared at him and snorted, Go to sleep early. I'll go back to Guqin Island tomorrow morning. Are you coming with me? If you don't, then I won't say goodbye to you tomorrow. You can go wherever you want to go. Su Yun didn't believe that she would leave. After all, her car was still parked in the garage of the hotel in Yanjing. It just so happened that he was also sleepy. Since Zhua Meiyan had said so, he might as well go along with it and quickly return to his room to sleep. Regarding Zhua Meiyan's inability to break through her mental state, Su Yun still needed to return to Yanjing and ask Ma San about it. He would definitely not act rashly. Feng Ying was speechless when she saw the two of them go back to their rooms. Didn't they want to do it tonight? As long as the two of them did that, she wouldn't have to worry about Zhua Meiyan's body being in danger in the future. What was that brat Su Yun thinking? Why did the duck that was at his mouth fly away? At this time, Zhua Yeming popped his head out of the room. Feng Ying, that's it? Nothing else? You guys are too deceitful. If it wasn't for you guys disturbing them, they would have. Zhua Yeming was shocked by Feng Ying's words. In his eyes, Sister Feng Ying had always been a dignified, noble, and steady person. Sister Feng Ying, why do I feel that you are looking forward to it more than my sister? My future brother-in-law chickened out at the last minute again. This should be my sister's doing. Why are you even more anxious than her? Zhuo Yeming asked doubtfully. Feng Ying glared at Zhuo Yeming. What do you know? Hurry up and go to sleep. Tomorrow morning, you'll come back to Qingdao with me. You have to stay there and watch over the entire film-based project. You have to take responsibility for the company's affairs in the future. Zhuo Yeming quickly shrunk his head and went back to sleep. He didn't provoke anyone, so why did they vent their anger on him? He felt so wronged. Snow City seemed to be particularly quiet at night. At least Su Yun slept very comfortably. There was no movement at all to disturb him. However, when he woke up the next day, he found that only he, Lin Ge, and Wu Yuandong were in the hotel. Everyone else had left. Damn, what did Zhuo Meiyan and Sister Feng Ying mean? They left without saying a word. Especially Zhuo Meiyan. Didn't they leave the car in the basement of the hotel in Yanjing? Su Yun was speechless. Wu Yuandong pointed at him. Didn't they leave me here? They asked me to go back to Yanjing and drive the car back. No way, Brother Dong? Lin Gu was surprised. They already know that you are the leader of the Three Lotus Association's Qingshui Hall, but they are still so rude to you. They completely treat you as a driver. They are so heartless. Brother Dong, I really don't know what kind of temper you have. If it were me, I would have quit long ago. Su Yun coughed. Are you trying to sow discord here? Brother Dong is so magnanimous. How can he be so calculative with them? Don't talk nonsense here. Aren't you afraid that things will get out of hand? Do you want Brother Dong and Zhuo Meiyan to fall out? Lin Gu scratched his head. Brother, that's not what I meant. I don't mean to slander sister-in-law. She's not even here, yet you're still calling her sister-in-law? Who are you sucking up to? Su Yun. Be normal. Don't be so abnormal like Zhuo Yeming. Call her whatever you want. She is the president of Sky Entertainment Group. Everyone knows that she is unmarried. You keep calling her sister-in-law. Aren't you afraid of ruining her reputation? Lin Ge couldn't win against Su Yun, so he could only obediently turn his head and change the topic. Brother Dong, Sister Meiyan told you that before she left? She didn't say that. Secretary Feng arranged it. Wu Yuandong said, coincidentally, there are some problems at the construction site in Qingdao. There are some things that need to be confirmed by President Zhuo. Otherwise, the project can't continue. That's why they left in a hurry. Su Yun didn't understand again. I can understand why they left in a hurry. Something happened at the construction site. What about Zhang Wanning and Zhang Yongliang? Did they leave with them? Something happened to them too. Who drove their car in Yanjing? When they heard that there was a problem at the construction site, they were worried sick. This time, President Tang of Tang Enterprise also rushed over to help. Lin Ge said, they said that protecting President Tang's safety was a difficult task that you gave them, so they had to rush over. As for their car, they gave me the key and told me to drive it first. Su Yun's head was about to explode. Then you're going to take it? I say, why didn't either of you wake me up and tell me? It turns out that I was the only one who didn't know that everyone left. You all said goodbye to each other. I was the only one who was still sleeping like a fool. Everyone knew that you didn't sleep for the past few days, so they didn't want to wake you up. Wu Yuandong said, Xiongdi, don't blame me, Dong Ge, and don't blame Lin Ge either. He wanted to wake you up, I stopped him, I told you to sleep a little longer. Anyway, it's not a big deal. It's not like we're going to part forever. After a few days, the Ziqin Island film and television base will be built. We'll meet again soon. Su Yun believed Wu Yuandong's words, but he really didn't understand why Lin Ge listened to him so obediently and didn't wake him up. That was impossible. Lin Ge usually had his own ideas. He wouldn't do what others told him to do. Yes, brother, after the film and television base is built, you'll go edit and announce that you'll be in charge of Sky Entertainment Group. We'll meet again, Lin Guo said with a smile. Su-yun caught his mistake. When did I say that I'm going to edit and be in charge of Sky Entertainment Group? Who did you hear that from? Did Zhou Meiyan tell you that? Humph, tell me, what else did she say? What benefits did she promise you? Why didn't you wake me up? Lin Gu chuckled and shook his head in denial. No. I just heard about it. Mr. Zhou promised him that as long as he doesn't wake you up today and tell you that they're gone, he'll invite a few artists to have dinner with him next time. Wu Yuandong directly sold Lin Gu out. At that time, whether it's Ling Jiling, Fan Bingbing, Zhang Zi, Yang Mi, Lu Yifei, Tang Wei, Lu Cixi, Tang Yan, and so on, he'll be free to choose. Lin Gu almost vomited blood. He didn't discuss it with Wu Yuandong. He didn't want him to spill the beans. In the blink of an eye, he was sold out. Su Yun patted Lin Ji's shoulder. Good boy, as soon as you hear that there's a beauty, you don't even want your brother. Well, when Mr. Zhou arranges for you to have dinner with them, you can order them all. Really, brother? Lin Ji's mouth was crooked from laughing. If he took a picture and posted it on Weibo, wouldn't it directly explode? Just one condition. Su Yun grinned and said, in the end, call me too. I haven't seen them in person yet. Lin Gu patted his chest. He had long forgotten that Su Yun was going to be the chairman of Sky Entertainment Group. That's absolutely no problem. If there's mine, then there's my brother. Don't worry, even if I don't go, I'll arrange for my brother to meet them and have dinner with them. That won't do. If you want to go, then we'll go together. If not, then we won't go. Su Yun laughed even more straightforwardly. Wu Yuandong was really speechless about this pair of brothers. They really went through thick and thin together. They even went to a dinner with a beautiful star. Since everyone else had left, Su Yun had no intention of staying any longer. After the three of them packed their things, they checked out of all the rooms and left the hotel. They filled up the 3 cars with gas and rushed back to Beijing. There was no need to rush back. They could just go on a scenic tour and enjoy the scenery. After 2/3 of the journey, the 3 of them had a comfortable dinner in the resting area. After that, they didn't rush back at night. Instead, they slept through the night. The next morning, they set off on their journey back to Beijing. The 20+ hours of driving was indeed enough to make people want to vomit. In the afternoon, before the sky turned dark, the 3 cars slowly drove out of the Beijing North Expressway toll station. Su Yun saw that there was still time, so he took the lead and drove the 2 back to the car rental shop. After returning the car, they took a taxi back to the restaurant they had set off from. After everything had settled down, Su Yun took the 2 of them to find a place to eat a comfortable hot pot. Then, they went to a bath city for a sauna to force out all the cold from the past few days. When they came out of the sauna for a pedicure, the waiter tried to introduce more comprehensive services to the 3 of them, but was rejected by Su Yun. Brother, the southernmost city in the east had a level 3 earthquake. They caught so many hotel and bath city ladies. Aren't you afraid? Aren't you going to restrain yourself? Su Yun was speechless. This is a dangerous period. I don't want to take this risk. Even if you give me money, I won't do it. The waiter patted his chest confidently. Brother, don't worry. The East City is in the south. We are in the north. It won't affect us. I promise that we are always in a safe period here. There is absolutely no danger. Don't worry, our boss has someone above him. Wu Yuandong also shook his head. There are many more bosses than your boss. When you are unlucky, you will also be investigated. Now is the time when the whole country is cracking down on negligence. I don't believe that any leader will protect you just because your boss gives you some money. Don't bother us anymore. Let's go. The waiter finally left unwillingly. Now that there was a strict crackdown, fewer people dared to come out to play. They couldn't even keep the ladies. The sauna city couldn't make money, so the boss couldn't give them performance pay. They could only helplessly eat the basic salary that was enough to drink the northwest wind. It was quite depressing. Therefore, when they saw customers, they tried to promote the special services in their shop. Chapter 576. Captain, there are still 3 left over here. Suddenly, the spearhead of this crackdown was pointed directly at Su Yun and the other 2. The captain of this group of policemen looked in the direction pointed by his subordinate and happened to meet the eyes of Su Yun and the other 2. In the eyes of this police captain, these 3 guys were obviously provoking him. Seeing that they were cracking down on prostitution and illegal activities, they could still smile brightly and proudly. Obviously, they were rejoicing about something. Take the 3 of them away together. With the captain's order, of course, his subordinates immediately walked towards Su Yun and the other 2. They even showed the handcuffs in their hands. Their posture was businesslike, but there was a bit of a smile on their faces. Su Yun really couldn't understand the mentality of these guys. Police comrade, we are here for a sauna, and now we are doing a proper foot massage. You can't just arrest people. Su Yun, if you want to arrest, then arrest those who ask for special services. We are here for a proper massage and health care. We didn't do anything wrong. You don't have a reason to arrest us, right? The young policeman who walked in front of Su Yun snorted heavily. The police need a reason to arrest you? Fine, you want a reason, right? Let me tell you, none of you who come to this place to take a bath are good. What era is it now? Whose house can't take a bath? You have to come out to take a bath. If you don't have crooked thoughts, then what is it? Foot massage is crooked thoughts? Lin Gu said, besides, although it's good that everyone can take a bath, that doesn't mean that everyone has a sauna. I find that you really like to joke. Stop talking nonsense. I don't care if you are here for a proper healthcare or a big healthcare. Anyway, you are unlucky today to be under attack. The young policeman shouted, Don't King talk to me about such useless things. Today, we are here to arrest you. What can you do? Even if we wronged you, do you still want to arrest us for assaulting a police officer? As soon as the young policeman shouted, several policemen behind him heard and rushed over. Looking at the situation, if the 3 of them dared to resist, then they would teach them a lesson. Wu Yuandong was really speechless. Brother, these guys are obviously abusing their power. They want to do whatever they want just because they have some power in their hands. Haha, since we won't be staying in Beijing for long, why don't we do it? That was it. Lin Gu also rubbed his fists and said, Today we'll teach them a lesson, let them remember that not everybody can be casually provoked. Don't mess around. Since ancient times, Yanjing has been the capital of the emperor. You can't mess around here. Su Yun calmly said, They are accusing us wrongly, the fault lies with them. If we make our move against them, then we won't have any reason at all. Now is not the time to cause trouble for yourself. Just cooperate with their investigation. Listening to Su Yun's analysis, it made sense. Originally, they had so many things to do, and no one had the time to waste with them. It was fine to cooperate and go through the motions. When a few policemen surrounded them, Su Yun and the other 2 did not speak anymore. They only waited for cooperation. Seeing this, the young policeman sneered and thought, A group of cowards. Just now you were pretending to be a big boss in front of me. See if I don't kill you today. Police comrade wants us to cooperate. We will cooperate. Seeing that these guys were going to handcuff him, Su Yun said, We are all law-abiding citizens, there's no need to be rough. Besides, we weren't caught doing anything dishonorable. There's no need to detain us, right? It's our duty to cooperate with police comrades' investigation. If you use lynchings, then it's your fault. The young policeman still wanted to handcuff Su Yun, but after the captain heard Su Yun's words, he felt that Su Yun was not such a simple person. He opened his mouth to stop him. Xiao Li, the other party has cooperated, don't be so troublesome. Take them back to the police station. After everyone walked out of the sauna city, Su Yun took the initiative to say to the police captain, "Officer, we drove here. It's not convenient for us to go back in your car. You can arrange for someone to escort us. Besides, you caught a lot of people this time. We have 2 cars, we can help you share some of the congestion. Although I know that the police car is overloaded and no one checks, safety first." The police captain felt that it made sense. Although he would not squeeze with the women and customers they caught, they were in the same car after all. He was also afraid that these people would have infectious diseases. If they were infected through breathing, just thinking about it made him feel disgusted. "Okay, then we'll take your car." The police captain frowned and agreed. Su Yun directly waved his hand and asked Wu Yuandong and Wang Zhe to drive. After Wang Zhe drove the Grand Cherokee driven by the Zhang brothers out of the parking lot, these policemen were stunned. $1 million luxury car was indeed bright. This group of policemen's hearts had already begun to subtly change. Rich people, everyone would look up to them. Then, Wu Yuandong drove out Swamayan's new S-Class Mercedes-Benz, which was even more stunning. This was not just a rich man. He was definitely a big boss above the middle-class level. He was definitely not a simple person. "Officer, come on. You're policeman. I can't kidnap you. Get in the car." After Su Yun invited them, he opened the door and sat in the car. Several policemen focused their eyes on the captain. Seeing that the captain finally opened the door and sat in the other party's car, several policemen who could not find a seat in the police car also got into Su Yun's car. The mighty team drove to the police station where the district was located. The captain of the anti-prostitution team felt more and more suspicious along the way. No matter how he looked at the young man next to him, he did not look very old. He also did not dress like a successful businessman. He could not help but have doubts in his heart. "Are these 3 guys all drivers?" The police captain asked casually, "What's your name? What do you do?" Su Yun thought for a while and hesitated before answering, "Su Yun, I run a company." "Run a company in Ji-Bei?" The police captain had already memorized the license plate number before he got on the car, so he knew that it wasn't from Beijing. "What company do you run?" Hee, I'm just a little curious." Speaking of which, a car that costs 2 to 3 million isn't considered rare in Beijing, but it's really rare for someone of your age to be able to make it this far. Moreover, most rich second-generation heirs play with supercars, and rarely would they drive such a luxurious business car. Su Yun answered, "I run an entertainment company. I'm not a second-generation heir like you think." In fact, Su Yun had been reluctant to take over Sky Entertainment Group because he was afraid of being labeled as a second-generation heir. Today, when the police captain mentioned it, Su Yun nodded his head. However, if he did not explain himself clearly, they would still investigate him. If he spoke carelessly, he would easily get into unnecessary trouble. "Then, what does this brother do?" The police captain turned his gaze to Wu Yuandong, who was driving. Wu Yuandong had been driving silently. At this time, he also said calmly, "He's our boss. I'm his driver." "What about the person in the car behind?" The police captain wanted to ask something while the 3 of them were separated. He hoped that when he got out of the car and asked the other person, he would be able to find some details that did not match up. He wanted to use them to refute all of their statements. Of course, Su Yun knew this guy's purpose. He smiled slightly. "That's my brother." "Oh." The police captain did not say anything else. He took out his phone and began to send messages. Soon, they arrived at the police station. When the police captain got out of the car, a surprised police officer ran to Su Yun's car. He pointed at the Mercedes-Benz and said to the police captain, "Deputy Director, I've checked everything you asked me to. This car belongs to Ji-Bei Tian Entertainment Group." When Su Yun heard this, he smiled faintly in his heart. He did not expect this guy to be a deputy director. When he heard that the car belonged to Sky Entertainment Group, the deputy director was stunned for a long time. Although Yanjing City had everything, Sky Entertainment Group was still very famous. Everyone knew that Sky Entertainment Group was one of the top entertainment companies in Huaxia. They had countless A-list artists under them and were quite powerful. "We're here. You guys go to the interrogation room together." The young officer with the surname Lee, who wanted to arrest Su Yun at the beginning, walked towards Su Yun and the others with a ferocious look. The expression on his face clearly said, "You're already in my territory. See if I don't kill you. What's so great about being rich? You're still being scolded here. Wait a minute." The deputy director shouted, "Xiao Li, do what you're supposed to do. You don't have to deal with this." When Xiao Li heard this, he left with a gloomy face. Su Yun, Lin Gu, and Wu Yuandong were invited to the office. The deputy director was ordered by the higher-ups to clean up today. He did not expect to encounter such a situation. After making arrangements for Su Yun and the others, he immediately sent someone to find out how to contact Sky Entertainment Group. After a while, his subordinate gave him a phone number. He said that the number belonged to Sky Entertainment Group's secretary phone. This person was in charge of all the secretaries in Sky Entertainment Group and was the CEO's right-hand woman. She knew everything about Sky Entertainment. After the call went through, the deputy director immediately said, "Hello, is this secretary phone from Sky Entertainment Group? I'm from a police station in Yanjing." "Hello, I am." Feng Ying was very surprised when she received the number. At this time, a police station in Yanjing called her. "What's the matter?" "Nothing big. Secretary Feng. I just want to confirm if Sky Entertainment Group's CEO Su is in Yanjing." Feng Ying was stunned for a moment. At first, she was wondering where this CEO Su came from. Later, she came to a realization. Could it be that Su Yun had encountered some trouble in Beijing? "Yes, what happened to our CEO Su? Which police station did you say you were from?" When he heard that the other party was so nervous, the deputy director knew that they had caused unnecessary trouble. "It's okay, it's just a misunderstanding. CEO Su is doing very well on our side." Before the deputy director could finish, Feng Ying hung up the phone. Soon, she called Su Yun. After Su Yun answered the phone and explained the situation, Feng Ying was very angry. She asked Su Yun to wait at the police station. She would immediately arrange for someone to pick him up. She also said that she would definitely punish these people who abused their power. Chapter 577. I'm sorry, everyone. Although you didn't directly participate in the special service in this indecent place, since this matter has already involved you, then you should cooperate and make some explanations. The deputy director came in front of Su Yun and the other two and said unceremoniously, "I know you are the boss of a big company. This matter must be handled by a lawyer. Then you should inform your lawyer." The deputy director was obviously trying to mess with them. It was a few hundred kilometers from Jibei to Yanjing. Even if there was a lawyer who could inform them now, they would only be here tomorrow morning if they rushed from Jibei to Yanjing. Could it be that they were going to be locked up here for the night? This guy was obviously trying to stir up trouble. "Leader, are you kidding me? You said yourself that we didn't participate in the special service. Why can't you let us leave directly?" Lin Gu glared and said, "You're just looking for trouble, aren't you? Do I have to give you a red packet if I want to get out of here? Let me tell you, I'm not going to spoil your bad habit. What era is it? You're still playing this game. Aren't you afraid that you'll fall to your death? Don't slander me." The deputy director was angry when he heard this. "Who wants to collect money? I'm just doing my job. I don't have evidence that you received special service, so you don't have evidence that you didn't receive special service, right? It's not too much to ask your lawyer to bail you out. You have to go through the procedure." Wu Yuandong also couldn't hold back his anger. "We didn't commit a crime. What bail? It's obvious that you want us to find a lawyer for nothing. So what? So what if I let your people come for nothing? Who asked your people to be so arrogant? So what if you're rich?" The deputy director sneered. "Let me tell you, although I'm not as rich as you, I have this little power to mess with you. If you dare to run, then I have a reason to arrest you. I advise you to wait obediently. You. Lin Gu slammed the table and stood up. The words were so clear. This guy was really asking for a beating. Su Yun was extremely calm. Sit down. If we really make a move, he will have more reason to mess with us. If we attack the police, we will be locked up for at least a few days. Just now, Sister Feng Ying told us to wait for a while. I believe she will arrange it. Wu Yuandong frowned. I believe that Secretary Feng will arrange it. However, if the lawyer really makes a wasted trip, this journey is a little too far. Sister Feng Ying only asked us to wait. She didn't say how long we had to wait. Su Yun shrugged and said, since we're already here, let's just take things as they come. I have nothing to do anyway, so I'll just treat it as drinking tea. He said that he wanted to drink tea, but unfortunately, there was no tea. Su Yun, on the other hand, waited patiently. The deputy director was also smiling as if nothing had happened. Anyway, they had to work overtime and stay up all night to interrogate. He was bored all night, so he could find a few people to play with. It was the same. In comparison, Lin Gu was the most impatient one. He was on the verge of losing his temper several times. Fortunately, Su Yun was by his side to control his emotions. Otherwise, he would have turned the police station upside down and run away. About half an hour later, a 7 Series BMW slowly drove into the police station. When a delicate girl got out of the car, all the male creatures present seemed to have been injected with stimulants. In an instant, the entire police station was in an uproar. This was the first time they had a movie star. Moreover, she was the leader of the new generation, Wang Xinyu. Wang Xinyu debuted as a sexy otaku goddess. Her super curvy figure was indispensable. Moreover, she must have the characteristics of Mo big breasts. Therefore, this girl could shock everyone as soon as she got out of the car. She was definitely not just an otaku. As long as it was a man, he would have an impulse after seeing her. This was necessary. If she didn't make men have an impulse at first sight, how could she walk to the top? Damn, brother, are our eyes playing tricks on us? Is this really the otaku goddess Wang Xinyu? The young policeman at the door couldn't hold it in anymore. His legs were soft. He was so excited that he couldn't help but take out his mobile phone from his pocket. He opened the camera and began to take photos with trembling hands. Wang Xinyu didn't avoid it. She strode into the police station. Wherever she went, someone would open the door for her. She just nodded slightly and said thank you. Excuse me, what can we do for you? Today, all the policemen working overtime couldn't help but feel excited. Tonight's overtime was definitely worth it. If they could get an autograph, it would be even more profitable. I'm looking for someone. After Wang Xinyu entered the room, she said lightly, I heard that my boss was mistakenly arrested by you. You are too careless. At this time, in the room separated by a door, Su Yun and the others, as well as the deputy director, instantly pricked up their ears. Because they didn't know who was outside, they didn't react in surprise like those guys. Who is your boss? Wang Xinyu nodded. Yes, why? You still don't want to admit it? Forget it. My boss's Mercedes is still parked outside. I belong to Sky Entertainment. Who do you think my boss is? Of course, my boss is the president of Sky Entertainment. Hiss. The deputy director couldn't sit still in the room. He got up and opened the door. When he came out, he saw that it was a female star. Then her identity was definitely not wrong. Don't tell me you don't know who my father is? In Beijing, if you mention the name of Lawyer Wang of Win Law Firm, there's probably no one who doesn't know him. Wang Xinyu blinked her eyes. My dad doesn't want to argue with you. He didn't get out of the car. If he did, I'm sure he would list 100 of your violations of human rights and abuses of power. When that time comes, will you still be a leader? The deputy director couldn't sit still anymore. He quickly walked in front of Wang Xinyu. Hello. Since you can come, then we have no reason to suspect that they are faking their identities. Ha ha ha, we were just worried. Ha ha ha. At this time, Su Yun also got up and walked out of the room with Lin Ge and Wu Yuandong. When he saw that the person who came to pick them up was actually a small star that Sky Entertainment had packaged for the past 2 years, Su Yun was a bit surprised. After seeing Su Yun, Wang Xinyu couldn't help but be startled. She had long heard that Mr. Zhua was just replacing a mysterious successor as the CEO, but she didn't think that it was true. She had just finished an event when she received a call from Secretary Feng. Because she was from Beijing and her father was in Beijing, the company naturally arranged for her to come to this event in Beijing. Moreover, it could increase her popularity and recognition. Of course, Wang Xinyu wouldn't miss it. She didn't think that she would receive a call from Secretary Feng right after she finished her work and asked her father out for supper. Feng Ying knew that Wang Xinyu's father was a famous lawyer. Since she was in Beijing, she asked her to do this. When she heard that she would be lucky enough to meet the mysterious successor, Wang Xinyu of course wouldn't miss it. She immediately picked up her father and brought him to the police station. Lawyer Wang obviously felt that it was making a mountain out of a molehill, so he didn't get out of the car when they arrived at the police station. Instead, he casually taught his daughter a few words. He didn't think that these words would be so effective. At least the police didn't continue to make things difficult for her. Thank you. Su Yunli thanked Wang Xinyu as if it was only right. Wang Xinyu didn't know how to respond for a moment. Wang Xinyu had never been so nervous in front of cameras or a big stage with tens of thousands of people. She was at a loss for words. Mr. Su, this is what I should do. Then, let's go? Su Yun looked back at the deputy director. It seems that the leader has the final say on whether we can leave or not. If we can't leave, then I'll ask my father to get out of the car and ask why. When Wang Xinyu faced other people, she immediately pulled back her aura. We can leave, of course, we can leave. The deputy director didn't want to get into trouble. The famous lawyer in Beijing wasn't someone to be trifled with. Moreover, he had a good relationship with many big bosses and leaders. How could he, the deputy director of a small police station, offend him? His official position in Beijing wasn't as big as a sesame seed. A casual word from someone could ruin him for the rest of his life. He didn't dare to provoke the famous lawyer. Wang Xinyu calmed herself down. Let's go, Mr. Su. Now that everything was settled, Wu Yuandong called Feng Ying to report. Feng Ying still didn't know Wu Yuandong's identity, so she asked him to hurry back. She said that it would be inconvenient for Zhua Meiyan to have a driver with so many things to do recently. Of course, Wu Yuandong agreed readily. He turned around and said goodbye to Su Yun, saying that he had to leave first. If Su Yun didn't have something to do in Beijing, he would definitely leave with him. However, he couldn't leave now. Brother Dong, take care. Have a safe trip. Brother Dong, take me to Qingdao to take a look. Lin Ge also decided to leave. The smog here is too heavy. I can't stay here any longer. If we go back together, we can take turns driving. It's safer. As he spoke, Lin Ge handed the keys to the Zhang brothers' car to Su Yun. Su Yun thought for a moment. Lin Ge didn't have much to do. It wasn't easy for them to leave the island, so why not let him follow them around? Then you and Brother Dong take turns driving. Don't get tired. There are a lot of big cars on the highway at night. Safety first. No problem. Lin Ge agreed readily. Wang Xinyu had seen Wu Yuandong before. She didn't expect that a driver could make this legendary successor call him Brother Dong. How impressive. However, she hadn't seen Lin Ge before. She thought that he was a newcomer to Sky Entertainment. From the looks of it, building a good relationship with this legendary and mysterious successor would be very important in the future development of Sky Entertainment. After all, she was a newcomer. There was no lack of A-list celebrities in Sky Entertainment. Although she had some reputation outside, she still had a long way to go if she wanted to rise to the top of Sky Entertainment Group and become a big sister. It definitely wasn't that simple. There was an old saying, the pavilion closest to the water enjoys the moonlight first. Since Wang Xinyu had such an opportunity, of course, she wouldn't miss it. She quickly walked to the 7 Series BMW and said to the driver, "Take my father home directly. I still have something to do." Of course, the driver wouldn't ask any questions. However, her father would be worried. Lawyer Wong frowned. "It's so late. What do you have to do? It's rare for you to come back, and you're busy with work every day. You don't have much time at home. Why don't you take the time to rest? Didn't you say that your boss accidentally entered the police station? Why is it a young man? I remember that your boss is a strong woman." You're tuning in to the Narrate and Escape YouTube channel. Don't forget to subscribe and join us on this journey to catch the most captivating stories.